Wake up, gamers, because you're listening to the Big Think Dimension with Damn Daniel and Bob Video Games.
That's not my name. Is that yours?
I don't think so, no.
Chris Wolfhard.
Remember Film Crit Hulk?
And Dr. Aggro.
Rent.
Here on GigaBoots.
Aggro, it's been like 20 years. Can you please stop talking about rent?
Never. I have blood oaths against so many theater kids.
Until the grave. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Big Think Dimension, number 278. We right before we went live, we saw Cheap Ass Gamer tweet a really great deal. Let me pop over to our live set. Let me just look at this deal again, because it was so good. I was knocked on my ass. Sony PlayStation 5 Console Edition hyphen PlayStation Plus Premium 24-month subscription bundle, $750.
Thanks for releasing a $600 fucking Series X, Microsoft. Thanks for... You're
Yeah,
I hate... Nintendo, kill them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Kill them.
Drop
Put
the
them in
all
the
of them.
grave.
Like, this bad behavior cannot be encouraged.
Yeah, no, it must be stopped. This is absurd. What is this industry? Just once again, PlayStation Plus Premium 24 months, 2 years. Reminder, the margins on this for Sony are somewhere between 98 and 99%.
This isn't like a product they've bundled in. This is just, hey, it's more expensive because fuck you.
$250 price added on.
Yeah, $250. Who do they think they're tricking here? The point of these subscriptions is to trick people,
right?
And get them to accidentally give you $250 extra, not to just do it,
not to do it up front.
Yeah,
That's every subscription. See, like that idea has gone away because all these subscription services are now so egregiously unprofitable. So it's like we need it to be $20 a month.
Yeah,
or else we can't make money. But nobody's gonna look at people. $7 is a rounding error. People's eyes will just glaze over if you're taking $7 out of their account every month. But if it's 20,
mm-hmm.
just there was a day where people would talk about great video game bundles, and they'd be like, "You can't just pack Sonic 2 with it." And it was like, well, that is a cartridge, and that costs money, so yeah, that is costing them. And then we moved past that to discs, and it was like, oh, well, technically they're losing sales on Uncharted or whatever the hell, because they packed it with the console. That's technically, they put extra value there. And it's like, but the physical product is $1. It costs $1 to make a disc. Then we moved away from that to digital vouchers. And it's like, this is ever more esoteric. What have you lost and what have I gained? And now... we're at a fucking subscription with a 99% margin for Sony. And I should feel blessed that I only paid $250 additional dollars 4 years after it launched. How did we end up here? Holy shit.
Nintendo, I need you to put the barrel of the gun in Sony and Microsoft's mouths and destroy them.
Yes, that would be delightful.
You are also a cruel tyrant, but at least the trains run on time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That is the most holy shit, goddamn hallelujah I've ever fucking felt talking about video games.
Yeah, even with 200, I feel like they should not have released this because it's like 2 years. That's it, just 2 years.
Two.
For $250, and that's a sale. That's actually cheaper than if you bought those separate.
Even if you're going to do this, even if your sick mind conceives of making this bundle a thing, how the fuck do we come out on this end? I mean, it's Microsoft's fault. They did it. But how do you not just, instead of dropping the price of your box, add in some of your fake ass doesn't actually cost anything subscription and pretend it's a huge value?
Yeah, it's really quite crazy how uncontested these motherfuckers are in the game industry, especially, you know, Sony and Nintendo. Because Microsoft's, you can't say they're uncontested. They're not even competing. This is fucking insane. Worth noting to anyone who's curious and doesn't want to do the math, you save $70.
You don't save anything.
I would not have like put something where even a marginally intelligent person would look at it and be like, your shit is $160 a year?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. It's like, you don't want to put that in people's faces. You don't.
No.
I'm imagining trying to sell this at GameStop. Like, that seems insane. That seems like, okay, I'll show you the actual bundles for the system, and then this is the one for if you're an idiot. Like, I couldn't even introduce this to a customer without having to preface it was, don't buy it.
Now, sir, corporate has let me know that it is legally questionable and morally damnable for me to let you even know about this bundle if you're not completely sober. Are you under the influence of this GameStop right now? Of course you are. So, anyways, you want either the one with the disk drive or the one without.
How many years into the system is this?
2 years. 250. Oh, you're talking about how many years it's been out?
Yeah.
That's what I was yelling about.
Yeah.
It's been 4 years.
It's 4 years.
4 years and 5 whole months, and you want us to pay $750.
It's not happening. Do you wonder why you're not seeing the sales you expected? It's this.
But we added so much value. No. No, you did not. You motherfuckers in Silicon Valley haven't known how to add value for a decade. God, it is so desperate.
Uh-huh.
How is it this bad?
Remember when they used to give PlayStation Plus free?
Yeah.
When you bought a new console?
Yeah, I remember
because
that.
That's the thing that gets people to get used to it.
It turns out when you want to get someone hooked on a drug, you don't go, well, give me $250 for the first hit.
Right.
The first hit is supposed to be free, dumbass. God, you motherfuckers couldn't even sell drugs. I did not expect this to come in at the last second.
Yeah,
Just to be clear, this counts as me bringing in news.
Yes, obviously.
That was my news for the week. How is it? It has never been this bad before.
No.
I struggle to think of how much worse it can get. Honestly, most of my speculation has to be based on Nintendo comes in and does nothing to challenge anyone on any axis possible somehow. Literally nothing. The Switch 2 has not even one launch game.
What are they, Xbox?
Yes, that would make them Xbox. And the fact that is a 100% provable connection should make everyone who is positive about the Series X at launch feel like shit. Because you know they wouldn't have done that for the Switch.
No.
If the Switch had no launch titles, like none, not one, ain't nobody been like, oh, Nintendo's just knocking it out of the park. They're doing as great as they ever did.
God, that's funny because like the Switch couldn't even play backwards compatible stuff. So it would literally be nothing. It'd be like the 3DS, but worse.
It would be like that. But weirdly enough, we ended up in a situation where for the coverage of the Xbox Series X at launch, they were more positive than they were about the Wii U. Which, how much sense does that make? The Wii U's back compat.
Yeah, Wii's back compat. It had games at launch. Not that many, but
it had Nintendo Land.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and be like Nintendo Land's a 10 out of 10, but I will tell you, it is very easy to identify Nintendo Land as better than... It's coming to me. Bob, what is the name of the really cool but not done indie as fuck shooter that Microsoft tried to hold up as an important Xbox launch game.
It's on the tip of my tongue. Bright Memory Infinite.
There we go.
That didn't even actually come out at launch, did it?
No, the unfinished version did. Remember?
Version did, right.
Because Bright Memory was the name of the launch version that wasn't done, and Bright Memory Infinite is the name of the final thing. There was like that and one other game where they were pretending these were big deals.
Yeah.
And it's like, no.
That was dire.
Well, don't worry. In about 6 months, those will be the only tier of games still releasing on Xbox.
And I didn't watch it, but the limited run games thing apparently has no Xbox announcements.
No, there's a few games that are coming
Oh
out.
no, they get Bubsy, the perfect collection.
We'll get to it.
Like, he could be just checking me. This could be complete bullshit, not real news, and Chris is just pulling one over on me. Cool. I'm happy for Xbox gamers. Anyways, I guess we need to get into what we played. Bob,
Yeah.
what did you play last Friday?
Last Friday, I played God Hand, and you watched.
It's true. Because God Hand is a game where you must perform.
Yes.
God Hand is a game that challenges the gamer completely unfairly, one might say, at points.
Yes, absolutely.
But damn, that game rules.
Yeah, the game's really neat. There's really nothing like God Hand, which is crazy. It has been 20 years. About 20 years.
Yeah, 18. 18 later this year because it came out 1 month before the PS3 in the States.
Yeah. It's been so long, and nothing's even been remotely similar to God Hand. Like,
Everyone was afraid.
not even one person's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make an indie game like God Hand.
People said back in the day a couple times, and then during the God Hand stream a couple times, that they're like, remember me is just like God Hand because you make combos.
What the fuck? A rubber ball is like an orange. They're both fucking round.
Yes, that's how all those comparisons to It's Like God Hand feel like.
The only game I can think of that even remotely evokes God Hand to me is Shadows of the Damned, which is also a Mikami game, and also had John Riccatello just fuck it over and over and over and over until they had no time to make anything, which adds all the God Hand energy.
You do pick up the same giant fruits and stuff, like from Pac-Man.
Yes, you do. Collecting giant floating strawberries is an important part of Shadows of the Damned.
I'm trying to think of, like, in the greater scheme of all action games ever, what is the most God Hand? And I'm like, is it Max Anarchy? Is it the thing Anarchy Reigns?
You mean the original, the Mad World?
Mad World? Is it Mad World? Is it the other one? Because the other one's also very melee focused, but the camera's too free is the problem there.
Right.
It doesn't have the tank controls like God Hand.
Right, and Mad World does kind of have those tank controls, but it doesn't have... It has the least deep combat system it can.
Right.
That's the thing. God Hand got all this weird jankiness, and then it's like, oh, I have an insanely deep combat system.
Man, Anarchy Reigns on modern platforms would be pretty good, though. Platinum should put that out before they die.
Yeah, they should.
Mad World on modern platforms would be nice.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't do that. They're such a small studio. Like, you'd think that they'd have that sort of stuff coming out to stay afloat.
Yeah.
Everybody rags on Treasure, but they understand that, we should fucking put our old stuff out.
Yeah, you literally... There's no world where I could be stupid enough to not fast track putting Mad World on modern platforms, because you have the cred, because no one played it.
Right.
You have the black and white aesthetic to make it fire on a really pretentious level to people immediately. And then you have the hyper violence to make it appealing and interesting and different. Like, it's basically everything you could ever want from this game was great and everyone who played it said so buy it, moron.
Yeah, you have your Sonic CD right there.
Right. It's perfect. It's so perfect for that. No one fucking played it. And it was critically raved upon by people. I don't know if like reviewers were as positive as the people I've heard be really positive about it.
I remember the reviewers being like, "Oh, thank God, there's a real game on the Wii."
Yeah, there are a few different review cycles that were like that. Like, I don't know, The Conduit.
Has anyone ever gone as far as what to do to look more like? Did we already forget?
No, I it's there, but I can't articulate. Did anyone go as far to do?
I'm trying to remember what the fuck it specifically, what that line specifically was.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Has
about.
anyone ever really been far, even as decided to use even go want to do look more like?
What's happening?
Bob, this is how Chris talks every week. What are you what are you talking about?
It's this dirt old 4chan post about Conduit.
Yeah,
And
okay.
a guy
It's starting to
commenting
come
on
back.
it has a stroke. This is literally from more than 15 years ago. I'm gonna put it in the Big Think channel so Dan can put it in the background if he wants.
Absolutely, I'll put it right there next to the Phantom Brave Girl. I'm fucking losing it just looking at it. Shit, man, I might incorporate this dude into the fucking thumbnail.
When are you gonna play the Conduit? That feels inevitable.
It is absolutely inevitable.
I can literally see it from right here.
Oh, was that on like AAA Wii as an oxymoron or some other Wii related theme month you had?
I don't think that was on the Wii Ruined Everything, but it might have been. It wasn't on the PSP AAA as an oxymoron month for obvious reasons. Let me get this on screen though, so people can.
I'm trying to remember because I feel like there was some list it was on, but
I love that it's not even the original poster.
No.
It's not the OP. It's just like the first fucking reply.
oh my god. We need to play that game real bad.
Oh, absolutely.
You're gonna be like, wow, this is as bad as Red Steel 1.
That's the worry, right?
How can it be that bad? Smash got to be asleep in my chair.
I wonder how long it is.
Hey, Bob.
Okay, it does not appear to be there was a sequel?
Yeah, there's the Conduit 2, of course. Everyone knows about the Conduit 2.
I forgot about the Conduit too. I will be honest.
That appears to be even shorter.
Well, yeah, because some way through development they realized, wait a second, we're making the Conduit 2. This isn't gonna sell.
Please tell me that's spelled COND, the number 2 IT.
No.
Conduit.
You're not allowed to do that ever since Thief.
Yeah. That's Thief 4.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they broke the spell.
I thought I was like, what does this have to do with Five Nights at Freddy's?
Here we go. This is our summary of the Nintendo Direct right there. Has anyone really been far even has decided to use even want to do more?
Sadly, you can't really do that while we're streaming. You can't put a little word bubble going to the Nippon, the Phantom to Malona.
I think that's right. I think that's her name. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
It might be Marona, but it is one of those two.
Marona sounds more likely.
Fant 4-stick is fine compared to the 4. What were they fucking thinking? You can't. Did someone at the company not understand why 3 being there instead of an E worked, and shoving a 4 in the middle of it didn't work in the fucking least?
No.
Yeah, and Driver with the 3 and Fear with the 3 also works, just to be clear. God Hand's really great in so many ways. Should give that game another chance on easy mode.
Yeah, because apparently that's normal mode everywhere else in the world.
Somebody said that, and then other people came in and contested it.
Oh, yeah?
So it is unclear at this point. The people who contested it sounded very, very firm on that was not the case in other regions, which is weird because it is completely believable because Devil May Cry 3 did that like 1.5 years earlier.
Yeah.
Thereabout. That game's unhinged levels of difficulty. Bob, you would agree that outside of the final boss, the hardest part of the game is probably the opening, right?
Yeah, probably, because you don't have any moves yet. You're still learning stuff. It is pretty rough before you get your health upgraded and you start getting enough moves to do enough damage to make it workable.
And you also can't even like bring a roulette pip from one level into that first level. You have to start with no roulettes accessible, no currency. You don't have HP buffs.
Yeah.
You got jack fucking shit to work with. And they're like, bailiff.
Yeah, and then a demon spawns and it's like, uh-oh.
And then a demon spawned twice, and I went, Godhand's great, and I'm happy it exists. I'm never beating this game, and then I put it down forever.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a neat game.
It is.
It's really interesting. I still don't like the way the dodging works. Because
Yeah, it's
analytic is
terrible.
frustrating.
It's terrible. They could have set that to fucking R1 or something, and you would have had a proper, like, just quickly tap something to dodge in a direction.
Right.
That would have been nice.
Yeah.
Did you get to use Poke of God at any point?
No, I don't think you unlocked that
No,
move.
I don't think I did.
It's not a move. If you get a specter, one of the demons that gets summoned
Mhm.
near death, stun them, which is easiest done with the chain yanker roulette move,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and you have God Hand active. It's a prompt where Gene gently pokes them with the God Hand. They explode, and a sitcom laugh track plays.
Incredible.
What a fucking video game. I hope Mikami, he said he was going to make smaller games now. I hope he's literally just making God Hand.
Right, that'd be incredible.
Yeah, I feel like something with God Hand's energy on the production levels of like Slitterhead has an audience.
Oh, yeah. I after the Nintendo Direct, I remembered that Slitterhead's happening, and it's this year, and it's third birthday core gameplay. And I was like, that's on top of one of those RPGs. I'm gonna cry. Fucking dude.
Yeah, it almost certainly is, because basically every other week feels like it has a big RPG dropping. So
Anyways, look forward to Like
that's
a Dragon.
November.
Looking forward to Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth hitting your live streams in the next week to kill the timer.
that's
Because none of you are watching it. None of you are. Who are you
Okay,
kidding?
it doesn't look like there's any huge RPG on top of Slitterhead.
Incredible.
But what's the
Oh wait,
near-
this list wasn't updated for the fucking Nintendo Direct. Rutro. Rutro.
Metaphor Refantasio is October 11th. So that's
It's like a month.
a month. I hope nothing comes out between the two.
It's really fucked up. It's really fucked up that the most reliable release date catalog is still fucking GameFAQs.
That's weird. See, it used to be GameStop, but then Bob changed which side of the counter he was standing on, and it became Shadowgate.
Well, Dan. Slitterhead comes out one day after Mario and Luigi Brothership, and 6 days before Dragon Quest III HD.
So yeah, that was exactly what I realized afterwards.
This might be difficult,
This
but
is
I
gonna
think
be
we
tough.
really have to try to ensure that every single game on Game of the Year, our unified list, is an RPG.
I can do it. This is the year.
It'll be 9 RPGs and Crow Country.
God, I'm so excited for Game of the Year. It's going to be such clown shit. Here's the funniest thing, okay? Hey, Aggro, you may have noticed this. There hasn't been like a killer game, like absolutely massive, amazing, that has come out in VR yet this year. And as much as our rolls are bullshit for Game of the Year, I'm not bold enough to be like, my number 10 Game of the Year VR chat.
Ooh, yeah, no, you need to show your work on that shit.
Here's how it didn't exist until this year in a shippable state. The Quest 2 sucks.
But other VR headsets were existent and usable.
But were
on
they
PC.
good enough?
I don't know. Maybe the vibe was incredible.
Maybe they were all the equivalent of the Switch. I don't know. I haven't tried them all yet. By the way, follow up on last week. Someone is actually sending me a Vive to try out, so that way we can build another frame of reference for VR headset landscape.
Yeah, it's insane.
Wow.
They weren't using it. They moved on. On eBay, those go for like 100 or so, depending. But then it doesn't come with the base stations. But they wanted to replace their base stations anyways, so they're sending that too because it's got like physical problems. Anyway, I'm very excited to get a frame of reference for another. It's like Dan is about to have 4 VR headsets sitting in his room. I did start having the thought of, I should collect them. Just get some shelving and put them all up there. Dan, I just got a VR headset. What's a good game? Don't say VR chat. Walkabout Mini Golf. Damn, that game's forever old now. Wait, what year is it? So yeah, I'm very excited. Very excited for that. I'm very excited for Game of the Year. It's totally fucking gonna be 90% RPGs. I love this. We're barely gonna have time to go into the Nintendo cuck era of Big Think it's nothing but Nintendo cucks before people just go, it's just a pile of JRPG weebs. And that's the cred we get for the rest of time because of this Game of the Year. Oh, man. Anyway, Bob, God Hand is good and they should make more things like God Hand.
Yeah, it's got a great sense of humor, which I don't think enough games do it like that. Nobody's quite like God Hand in that regard.
No.
It's also really funny with this. Their story mechanic for the entire game is after you beat a level, you go back to the hotel and the girl yells at you and you leave. And then the story doesn't seem to happen when she gets kidnapped.
Yeah, it's like when Excel Saga decides it has a plot in the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
It's a lot like that, where they're just like, oh, they kidnapped her, so now there's a plot. And I'm like, I was hoping we'd go to more places like a shopping mall. Because it literally is. You go back, she threatens you with an axe, and then you have to go to a cool lakeside town that looks like Paris or an Italian city. Anyways, and then people just go, yo, it's it's just like Sonic 06. And I'm like, yeah, I know. That was my first thought too.
Jesus.
It's bad here. Venice, there we go. Thank you. It's bad. It's bad that it was Venice coded. My brain instantly went because it's late 6th gen. So it's got a lot of the features that you might expect from early 7th gen. My brain just goes, yeah, it looks like the hub in Sonic 06.
Okay, so like you couldn't remember the specific city. It looked like not you failed to name an Italian city.
Fails to name a real Italian city. Says something is basically Sonic 06. Leaves.
You see, I'm much more cultured. I see it and say it's like Ninja Gaiden 2.
Oh, okay.
See?
That's fair. You know what? At least my game, God Hand and Sonic 06 came out literally at the same time. So I think they're picking up the same sort of vibes. That same sort of idea of how that looks. That I feel like, for some reason, as graphics technology move forward and other things and fascinations happen, no one would make it look that identical.
I don't know. Team Ninja's understanding of visual graphics, especially at that point where it's like, how do you make the place look nice? We take high-res textures and paste them everywhere.
Yeah, that sounds like Team Ninja. They're the equivalent of the people who like scan shit into like 3D models, the photogrammetry for the hyper realistic Cherno Fumo, where it just looks like the entire 3D model looks like photos. They're like that, but for 3D environments,
right?
Bob, did you have anything else you wanted to say about God Hand?
Not really. It's a great game and you should play it. It's really unique. I don't even know what to say about it. You can't really... You can't make them like that anymore.
For anyone who's curious what God Hand is, it's an action game that's entirely melee, where you beat the shit out of people with your hands doing lots of cool moves and combos. You have a devil trigger that's called the God Hand, and you have a roulette move that's Often a gag, but powerful move that's very funny. Like he gets a shining golden bat that he hits them with and they fly into space. And if they have too much health to die, they fly right back.
Yes, they just fly back.
Absolutely great game.
There's like 3 moves to do that.
The camera is always behind you and you can't jump. It's just like the new God of War game, said some people.
It is clearly made out of the Resident Evil 4 engine, and the way that is constantly apparent is very funny. Because
Yeah, you can tell just by moving.
It's so funny. It's like they made this game in a year. We can't do that anymore, and that blows my mind. It's like, what's the deal?
What's the point of Unreal Engine
what's
if they
the
can't
point?
spit out a game in a year?
Like you have all of these bespoke animations for all these attacks they put in. All the mechanics work fine. The only thing that looks bad is the environments, and it's like, I don't care. I don't care that all the environments are square.
And honestly, that we probably could, but nobody cares to even fucking try.
Yeah.
Like that's the big thing. Like that's it's not like if you like I said last week, where it's like write down everything in the game, any 7th gen game with a sensible scope, and gave it to them and be like, make this. It doesn't take longer.
Yeah.
It's just nobody wants to do it. Like any increases in efficiency from tools improving have been eaten by, well, future-proof it by making it 4K. No, make it bigger. No, add more stuff. No, it needs more layers of simulation. All that shit.
Which is funny. I watched a lot of, but not all of, the GamesIndustry.biz interview with Sean Layden, former Sony CEO, and also he's now like an advisor for Tencent.
Huh.
Yeah, that's apparently one of the gigs he's got going on.
No, they're going to conquer the industry. Okay.
And, he was talking about how, like, games don't get cheaper to make. They aren't getting shorter. And all of these things. And he makes a lot of valid points. And the person from GameIndustry.biz makes my blood boil and my piss boil. Because he opened the thing with, like, we're going to talk about how to make games sustainable again, maybe regarding the use of cloud or AI. And I'm like, it's been 2 seconds, bro. 2 seconds. Can we not pray to the gods for 2 seconds even? Anyways, what if you made the game shorter? A thing that Sean Layden points out, it's like over 60% of people, and Chris has brought this up on countless Big Think Dimensions, over 60% of the people don't beat your fucking game.
Yeah.
So for 68% of the people, why did you make all of that?
Yeah, and like God of War Ragnarok was incredible. It probably did not need to be that long. It probably could have been half that length and been just as good.
I absolutely agree. That game's stellar. I don't think it would be lesser from being shorter at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, like at the end, they drop like an 8-hour long side area on you that you don't even have to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, and we really should just be making the game shorter. I know there are a lot of people who they chafed against the idea of a shorter game being better than a longer game, but it's like you can literally polish it more, like from a gameplay angle, and you can save a lot of money from an asset creation angle.
Like the thing I always try to explain to people is like the budget an 80-hour game has, like on the AAA scale, the budget an 80-hour game has and a 40-hour game aren't gonna be that different. Like you're not getting twice as much stuff. You're getting the same amount of resources stretched to 80 hours.
Yeah, but when you're talking about like on the shorter end, I feel like the difference between 20 hours and 40 hours is an insane amount of money. Like when you keep cranking your game up to the 40 mark, that's when it's like, bro, you have too many tool generated cutscenes. You have too much land mass. You have too much shit.
I'm really starting to get down on those tool animated cutscenes because it's like, you guys are the games that use them are now like twice to 3 times as long as a Mass Effect game. So it's like, I can look at these for 25 hours because there's enough real cutscenes in there so that my brain doesn't die.
Right. Yeah.
And I've said this before with like Final Fantasy 16, the disparity between the tool generated side quest shit and the real game is such a fucking massive gulf of resources and polish that it just makes the game feel bizarre and not in a good way, like in a bad way.
Yeah, no, it was a real like oil and water situation. They did not mesh. They were clearly two different components coexisting in the same vessel.
And that's really the crux of this conversation, because I know how this sort of thing always gets responded to with, oh, you think games should only be X number of hours. No, I think there's a point in production where you're not making a game anymore, you're producing content. Where you're just filling the oatmeal, and you're just wasting money. Like, we don't want to play it. You don't want to waste time and resources on it. Stop doing it. Or rather, let me angle that conversation upward. Executives need to stop making studios do this.
Well, the thing I always think about is this is something my dad said, because he used to be a teacher. He's a high school teacher. And he'd teach science, and he'd assign reports, and the kids would ask, how long do you want the report? And he'd say, and his answer, he would never tell them an amount. He'd be like, cover whatever subject you pick. And he would help them pick a subject that isn't like all of human history. He'd help them pick a normal, like he'd guide them to like a normal subject. But he's like, I'm not interested in you filling out a page count. I'm interested in you reporting that you have comprehension of whatever subject you chose.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about games. Like, I like really, really long games. I've liked really, really short games. You should stop before I start getting sick of it.
Right, yeah.
And as an example, I kind of like, that's the reason everybody says Arkham Asylum is better than Arkham City. Is because Arkham City is like a relatively tight Metroidvania-y, like 10 to 15, and Arkham City is 40 hours long and has a big open world full of 700,000 Riddler puzzles.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, that's the fate of that series.
So wait, what's the final? I always fuck this up. So it goes Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins, and then what's the final one?
Night.
Who is that
It
again?
totally
Who's
isn't Jason Todd.
Okay.
It's definitely not that
we
guy.
can start the search there.
When the Arkham Knight shows up and calls Batman old man like you refer to your dad, you're not supposed to take anything away from that at all. You're not supposed to think about how completely insane. What fucking Rocksteady? Why even respond to that? Just don't say anything.
This is the most brought up thing in all of Big Thing history.
Is.
I don't think it comes up every time Arkham comes up for sure, but I'm sure there's shit we've brought up. But this is an aside. This isn't totally related. Dear game developers, all these outlets suck your dick anyway. Start asking for interview questions in advance, and if there's a really stupid one that can only be responded to with a stupid answer that will be taken out of context and make you sound dumb, veto it. Here's an example. Somebody asked somebody from Guerrilla Games if they would want Aloy in Smash. And they said, of course. And that was reported as Guerrilla Games would really love Aloy in Smash. It's like, no, they fucking asked them. They asked them. Same thing with, hey, developer, would you like to make a sequel to this, parentheses, still have a job? It's like, oh, I can't believe they said yes.
I saw a tweet. And the tweet was like, having likes public is important. And it was a person wearing a shirt, and the shirt just says blowjobs are real jobs, and under it says liked by Jennifer Aniston. So anyways, when Chris was like, these outlets are going to suck your dick anyways, I was like, oh, that's good. That's a good bit. I should have gotten a job as a game journalist and just worn that shirt. That's a good bit. But no, it's the scope thing. The scope thing absolutely just that's the problem. Stop. You gotta you have to understand at some point, no one wanted the last 15 hours of your 60-hour game. You have to realize that. And
I
that,
mean, like, it's a bell curve. Like, I would have played 12 to 30 more hours of God of War Ragnarok because
Yeah, so would I.
yeah, that game like lodged a bone in my brain.
Uh-huh.
But that is definitely a winnowing market with greatly diminishing returns.
and more importantly, you wouldn't want them to have done that if it made the game completely unsustainable and endangered the future of the studio.
Yeah, I also wouldn't have wanted them to have expanded their little open areas into giant bandit camp dotted monstrosities.
God.
Yeah.
And I like taking out bandit camps. I find it very zen.
Yeah.
It's the worst part of most games it's in.
I find that delightful in Ghost of Tsushima because I rinse every single fucking one. I go, hey, which one of you fuckers is boss? And then I just kill them before even stepping inside. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing that's like really crucial to this is like, at some point Sean Layden knows the answer is that because his comments even reflect that. Where it's just like, no,
they
making
do.
the 80-hour version of popular IP is not going to drive new people in, and it's more expensive. Anyway.
Yeah, he's insanely sober. It's like, oh god, he needs to be the CEO of Sony again so fucking bad. Herman Hulst doesn't have a fucking clue.
So about why it fucking bugs the hell out of me that people will not give Jim Ryan credit for the things Jim Ryan did, but then weirdly give him credit for the things the prior CEOs lined up years in advance to just barely ship under Jim. Why that fucking drives me nuts. Because Andy House and Sean Layden are the people you should be crediting with like all the fresh IPs you got during 8th gen from Sony. Your Ghost of Tsushima's, the reinvention of God of War Ragnarok, your Death Strandings, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But somehow they're just like, Jim Ryan shipped these games. I'm like, yo, do you know, like, I want you to raise a kid for like 17 years and the fucking semester before they graduate high school, you get cucked. And it's just like, that dude raised that kid. Hell yeah. And it's like, no, it's been 6 months. It's been 6 fucking months. Drives me insane. Anyways, we got to move on. Bob, any last comments on Animal Well? Oh, wait.
What?
Bob, any first comments on Animal Well?
I didn't play it this week.
Oh, okay.
I saw you play it.
I did play it. I became the Egg
I
Lord.
played it also.
You played it also? That's fantastic. That might be pertinent to something.
I have very little to say about it, so I'll just go first. I'm with Bob. I saw credits and immediately stopped.
I will just leave it up in the air that I saw credits and did not immediately stop. What could that mean? Who knows? Maybe you'll find out on Monday. For anyone who doesn't know, Animal Well is a rather simple style platformer. I actually like to compare it to the single screen solve the puzzle microcomputer style games just ripped out of that era, put into the modern. But you know what's neat? Dark Souls. You should have to platform through 7 rooms if the enemy that hits you obnoxiously killed you.
Yeah, it's that fused with like a Metroidvania.
Yeah, so it's that.
Except it doesn't have any like sequence breaking that a normal Metroidvania has.
Yeah, and I really cannot stress, every room is a puzzle, obtuse or obvious, opaque or obvious. You will solve your way through a giant underground well of animals. And I think that well describes the game. I think that's a pretty good way to put it. I'm very excited to talk about that. Who knows when that could happen?
No one can guess.
Maybe next year. Oh, it'd be so good to. Could you? I was talking to someone about our Forever podcast that we recorded in 2022 and still have not released.
Jesus.
And I was like, it would be so funny to do that with a fucking Animal Well. And technically, it might even be Kino. Anyways, Bob didn't even play it this week, so you have no rights. Chris,
No.
did you have anything you wanted to say about Animal Well?
I'm gonna save everything I could conceivably say about Animal Well for that, except for the fact, like, I'm just gonna be a little blunt. I don't think you should buy this. Like,
I have good
Like-
news. If you have, and I'm sorry, Bob, I wish I knew before, PlayStation Plus, that was free.
So if you paid $250.
If you just pay 200,
But yeah, I found that out a few weeks ago. Yeah.
yeah, I'm
This,
sorry.
this is like exactly like how I felt when I beat Minute, that little indie game where you have 1 minute and you time loop over and over, where it's like, I beat this. Every game journalist gave this like 9.5s and 10s. I don't fucking get it. And I had pretty much the same responses. Were like, I don't fucking get it.
I am excited to have a conversation about it. Because I think this will be a very interesting and illuminating experience to have words about Animal Well. So please look forward to the year 2036 when that finally comes out. Okay, I told myself I wouldn't do this, but it was really cool, so I'm doing it. I'm sorry, Bob. I'm sorry. So I became the Egg Lord.
Okay.
I got that achievement in Animal Well, which you get for getting a lot of eggs.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was focusing on my regular diet of way too much bleach. Because reminder, for people who didn't find out, we're watching 36 episodes for the next recording of Chugging Bleach. That is an inhuman amount of bleach. One might say that once, you know, this is over, I have to watch Bleach immediately again. That is what my plans are for tonight. So
One might say that the amount we cover per episode will only increase from that point.
So, aside from Animal Well and that and some other mild things, the Nintendo Direct and getting shit together in my life, I didn't have time for much other than that and VR chat. So, Bob, hey, in VR chat,
How many hours of VR chat do you have time for, but nothing else?
Well, for one, Steam will only tell me the last 2 whole weeks. It won't break it down to the last week, so we can't really say. However, there was maybe a prediction during last Friday's stream where people got to guess how many hours I put into VR chat, and it was disgustingly high. Bob, you heard that number then. Would you like to guess now how many hours I have in the last 2 weeks in VR chat?
50.
Aggro?
Last week?
2 weeks, because it will not tell me the last week.
72.
Chris.
84.
Bob's the closest. I'm thanking God it's nowhere near as bad as you two thought. And a lot of that
I
was...
was assuming you fell asleep in the headset at least once.
I was like
Fair.
6 hours a day. 6 hours a day.
Interestingly, one of the mild downsides of the new headset when you're deranged, the new head strap thing I have, is it has a knob on the back. That makes it a little hard to lie down and fall asleep in VR chat. The fabric one was way better at that. Anyway, the actual answer was 44.7 hours, so Bob's the closest with 50. But thank you, Spiff, for trying to price this right his ass with 51 hours as your guess. They have this really ambitious like world that was a recreation of an absurd, like frankly absurd amount of Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
And it's all the assets are ripped from the 3D remake. They built an inventory system that works into it. They have all of Hyrule Field, the forest, the maze. Basically, the stuff that's missing is the main town for now, because this thing's under active development,
Okay.
and the temples. You can go I spent over an hour just traveling across this thing. They have the side hop working. So if you hold left and jump, you literally do the exact arc and speed.
So what would you call the main town? Kakariko Village or Hyrule Castle?
I would call it, well, what's the name of the castle outside of Hyrule? What's the name of the village around Hyrule Castle?
Hyrule Castle.
Hyrule
yeah.
Castle Town.
So Hyrule Castle Town is what I would call the...
Okay.
But I believe Kakariko was also blocked off.
Okay.
It is very much a work in progress, but it is absurd to be like, I spent over an hour in this world because there's so much to fucking do. It has like working sword shit. It has rupees you collect. Like it has all the bushes and rocks and shit. You break it. You could buy with the rupees avatars made by random members of the VR Jack community that have been inserted into the file select is the level this is at.
Oh my god, I want to be there.
They inserted extra chests into the environments and the overworlds to unlock different overworld themes from different Zelda games. So Zelda 2, Link Between Worlds, just all of it. And so you can go back to the main menu and then select different music to play on the overworld. This was a weirdly, unbelievably fucking hype and well-made VR chat world. Right before I went to this one, I went to the palest impersonation of this humanly possible, where there was no functioning anything. And instead of doing the classic, like, you know, when you exit an area in Ocarina of Time, it does the cool cinematic, like, fade to black, like, iris in. Mm-hmm. In that one, it just smash cut you to the middle of the farm or any number, like Lon Lon Ranch. And there was barely anything in that one. So it was like... It was really funny to just see these two back to back. Yeah, that world was fucking nuts, and it was really cool, and I was really goddamn impressed. That's about all I got to say about that, though. It was just... That thing is basically the pinnacle of person played game as kid. What if unbelievably well realized in VR chat? Bob, what have you been playing? You have to say now. No drinking fluids. I would like this podcast dry. Thank you.
I did play demos, but I figured before I go into that,
Okay.
I played more Rise of the Ronin. I've been trying to just trying to finish it before moving on to SMG 5. Man, if we were talking about those tool generated cutscenes,
We sure were.
relentless.
Yeah, watching the trailer for that, they showed a nice looking cutscene. And I'm like, I bet this game's 90% tool generated by Mask because it looked too nice.
Yeah, no, when they do real cutscenes, they look really nice.
They look like Sony Visual Arts Group, I bet.
Yeah, and they have like actual action directors and stuff, and it really shows. So then,
You ever just want to make a movie and then for 90% of the cutscenes, engagements, and dialogues in the movie, you just get a different actor who has no charisma?
God. And then the weirdest thing of tool generated cutscenes is it has to it didn't bug me as much until we started talking to more people that were like of different factions. And there's only so many ways people can stand next to each other in these cutscenes.
Yeah.
So there's each side talking to each other can have two people total. So it gets really awkward when it's you on one side and your buddy, and then the guys from the enemy faction standing right next to the guy from your faction. And they're like they're within under a foot from each other, like only a few inches. It's like shoulder to shoulder.
Dude, it's like the Brick thing in fucking Anchorman where they're like, Brick, you're on the wrong side. Get over.
Yes. That's how it felt.
If you're gonna have, you need to devs. If you're gonna use tool generated cutscenes, your games have to start looking shittier. Tool generated cutscenes kind of work in Yakuza, where it's this fucking dipshit in a suit who does a cartoon reaction, and then you hammer their face inside out.
Right.
They don't work in these really fucking expensive games where you see the world's most high fidelity models do like an MMO emote.
Right.
Yeah, it is weird because Rise of the Ronin, most of the game, visually does not look great, but the character models actually do look pretty nice.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird.
Yeah. Which is why I knew watching the trailer, seeing the cutscenes that look that nice, that do not fit in with the rest of the trailer. I was like, that's like 5% of the cutscenes, maybe. Maybe.
I got to the point where I got to go to Kyoto. That I think is the final area. Is much smaller than the other places. It actually just seems to be the city.
Oh.
Which is kind of neat to have just that fully fleshed out. Like it's all city streets. I joined the Shinsengumi, left the Shinsengumi. I was in the span of a week, it feels like.
I was like, what was it? I joined a golf club. I got banned from a golf club.
Yeah, Bob walked into a place. He's like, these guys seem cool. And it's like, oh, they're all illiterate murderers. I better go.
Right? How do you quit that? You just walk into headquarters yeah, guys, I'm not feeling the vibe. I'm gonna go.
I hope that's okay. And then they just look like they're gonna kill you.
It was really weird because it was the situation where okay,
You got fired, didn't you?
You joined
No,
the
it was totally mutual.
yeah, it was totally mutual. But yeah, you do a raid with them on some people, and then at the end of all the Shinsengumi, you're like, okay, now we're going to just kill them all. We're going to kill everyone of this clan, and your guys are like, yo, they surrendered. Can you stop killing them? And
then
you kind of just run. But you're still weirdly enough that you can still do missions for some of the members of the Shinsengumi. Just like the head of it is like, hey bro, can you come help me with this? I'm like, what?
do you end every one of those dialogues with okay, but only because you're one of the good ones? Obviously, the rest of them are the problem. It's just a couple bad actors.
It's very strange. I'm like, is it just? It may be because I didn't do the next story quest where I would have to definitively choose one side, and I'm now technically in between.
Okay,
but it's very strange.
Yeah, it checks out. Like, this is a country that just got telegraph wires. News does not travel that fast.
Even between brain cells. All I can think of is Shinobi-Do 2, where it's just like one of the shoguns would just be like, those fucking assholes, they hired some guy to wreck our shit. And I'm like, that's fucked up. Anyways, you got any work for me?
I thought it was kind of funny that I got the Shinsengumi sword fighting styles for a few different of the characters.
Cool.
Because they all have different ones. Luckily, there are a good number of these. So one of them literally has a move from the Kenshin live action movies.
Good.
I was gonna ask.
I've seen another one of them pull off like literally the stab move from the Kenshin anime.
Yeah.
But if you've seen the live action movies, I think that's the only time I've seen them where they do this thing where they run super close to the ground and slice at their legs.
Yeah.
And that is one of the moves you get. And I'm like, yeah, these guys watch this movies.
Yeah, of course.
How they might have even hired this action director.
Yeah, that's fair. How could you make that game without seeing those?
I don't know.
I've seen those, and I wouldn't make that game.
It's really funny when you early on meet a guy who's like, this guy's going to be our friend and going to help us with helping the shogunate do something. Mm-hmm. You see them, and it's the most... This guy's a manslayer you've ever seen. Yeah. Like hair all white, a specialized outfit that shows off his abs. It's like this has to be like a crazy. And then immediately he turns on you and is like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kill everybody."
Sorry, you said he shows his abs, he slays men, and he turns you on. What's up with the Rise of the Ronin? 1 second.
Well, it is set in the 1800s Japan, so
it was very open at the time.
I also messed a little bit with the I mentioned before there's a system where you have a book that you can go to and go back in time and do different things.
Yes.
So yeah, you can use that to change the choices you've made. Mm-hmm. So I went back in time and was like, okay, it turns out doing this, killing that guy meant I wouldn't be able to get this other sword style. So I wanted to go unkill him. Mm-hmm. It's hilarious how little your choice matters, because when you don't kill him, he gets away, and then the next cutscene is him getting murdered by someone else.
Yep.
Wow, it's almost like that's how every single choice in a video game in human history has worked. So we should stop pretending your choices matter, so we stop having to do this.
Yeah, we should.
Didn't that Uchikoshi thing that they announced also be like, people may die, you get to choose?
Yeah, but it's like a visual novel style. It's
a lot easier. So,
yeah,
right. And that's the thing he does in all his games, so I assume it's going to work as well.
Yeah,
you would hope.
What I assume is there will be like 16 or so real endings, and then those real endings will have modifiers based on these. Like, these characters aren't important to the ending, so it changes slightly whether they're here or not. And that extends it out to 100. Sort of like how Fallout New Vegas has 100 endings because it just shows these fucking slides. And there's like 4 different versions of each slide. So each combination counts as its own ending.
Okay, Shadow the Hedgehog.
It shows a different number in the corner. This is a different ending. That is how it works.
So many games in 7th Gen did that. Where it's like, we have 40 billion endings. Like, can you have one good one?
No, that's way harder, actually.
There's only one way to find out.
You know, aggro. I mean, it doesn't always work out. Considering the Outer Worlds has significantly fewer endings, and every single one of those I ever see, I'm like,
I'm struggling to remember the one I got.
That's a good sign.
Might say
well, were you
something.
good or evil, aggro? Did you side with the
I
human
know-
beings or the giant corporation?
I know my int wasn't high enough to convince the final boss to kill themselves.
I'm sorry.
Well,
But,
see,
but I
if
think I sided with Rick Sanchez or whatever
if you
they called him in the game.
If you side with Rick Sanchez, everything is fixed by taxes being made 10% higher.
Oh my god! What?
Yeah, that's literally how the good ending of that game is. I saw it and got so mad I immediately had to look up the political donations of the writer. Because I'm like, you marketed this game as like the anti-capitalist, we're heckin' epic shit, and this is your ending. Go fuck yourself. By the way, when's fucking The Outer Worlds 2? They announced that in 2021.
They sure did.
It's okay. They cheekily said that they shouldn't have
Yeah,
done
they
that.
shouldn't have done it.
Waka waka.
I'm sure it'll come out and the Obsidian won't be shut down 30 seconds after VAD comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really hoping they outlive Xbox.
You know, I was hoping one episode of Big Thing could happen where it didn't live up to the allegations of the fifth host of Big Thing to mention Windows sounds.
No, that's the co-host of every single live podcast because of Windows.
Right.
Thanks, Windows. You can't just visually have a thing happen. You must also make a really obnoxious chime.
Can I turn that off? No.
No.
You wouldn't know what to do with yourself without that.
We didn't make a visual for this copy and paste maneuver not working. So if you don't have the sound, it'll just do nothing and you'll stare at it do nothing. Any other Rise of the Ronin tidbits?
The more I play it, the more I'm like, man, you guys should not have put a stamina system in this game at all. Because they start adding more and more enemies you're fighting at once, and you have all sorts of cool moves you can do, but they all require stamina, and you actually made the stamina system worse in Neo. Because in Neo, it's all just about, okay, do the attacks and time your R1 press so you get most of your stamina back. In this, you have that exact system, but to get the most stamina back, you need to first build up a blood meter on your sword, so you have a lot of blood to like shake off of it, and that increases your stamina. So it's a bunch of, okay, I need to make sure not to do it a lot of the time and save it up so I can do a big one, which feels miserable.
Yeah, that seems
Like that-
needlessly complicated.
Yeah, it just adds another layer to it. It's like, guys, I don't want to be thinking about this. This is literally just making your game less fun for no benefit. I don't get it. I don't know why so many people are so stuck on, I need a stamina system in my game. Like, so many things about this game have removed Dark Souls, the elements. It's like, what is this still doing here?
So if you have a stamina system in the game, your inputs can only be so many per any given slice of time. So the game could be balanced around you only being able to do so many attacks and so many inputs in a certain slice of time, slowing down things from a Devil May Cry pace of completely nonstop to, ebbing and flowing, which is a lot more mainstream accessible as a thing. Not that I think Rise of the Ronin ever stood a chance of becoming a mainstream action game for the people.
Right.
But I get why it works in Dark Souls.
Yeah, I feel like it also works in Dark Souls because there's so few attacks, so few things you can do. And here it's like, yeah, every different sword style has like 4 different special moves you can do. You have all these different things, and you can switch between everything on the fly. It's like, yeah, it's built around having a ton of things I can do. Why do you want me to do none of them?
I figure I'll let people know the intrigue that's currently going on behind the scenes, the tension. I have 15 minutes of record time left, and it will take 11 minutes to transfer all of these VODs off of the drive we're recording onto to make space so we can keep recording this episode of Big Think Dimension.
Oh my God.
And we succeeded. The first chunk's gone. We got 5.5 hours. We're good. By the way, I will add the extra layer of, oh God, I hit the cut and paste maneuver and it just went blong and said nothing. So I just stared at the Windows Explorer, and then after a moment, it finally went, okay, I'm okay with this hard drive now. You may copy and paste. It didn't tell me that, but I realized that from how it acted. You know, kind of like, okay, you may recall a few weeks back on Big Think, I think it was only one, but maybe it was two. I was talking about this fitness dance game in Quest 3. I forget the name, Les Mills Dance, probably. But I talked about, on an unrelated tangent, seemingly, that one time I stepped into a different room and I felt the whole headset hitch. Like it just went gashunk in a way that I couldn't express with words how that was apparent. I have a new theory that is hilarious. The headset saw me shirtless and turned off a level of sending data. Because that app has access to the cameras. Because it needs to know the environment for the mixed reality thing. That was me stepping into the restroom to do a thing, to wash my hands real quick. And I think that's what caused the hitching, because it happened again 3 days ago. Weird. So then that makes me go, if it acted differently when it saw me shirtless, then what does that mean it's doing the rest of the time? Anyways, I'm glad Facebook has ownership of this VR headset.
Yeah, nothing. They never do anything weird with your data.
I mentioned this briefly before we went live, and talking about VR reminded me again. Did you see that Apple has allegedly put the entire Vision Pro team on make it cheaper, get the fucking price down, make it cheaper, make it cheaper version. It needs to be cheaper.
So here's the thing. That was the case in parallel to the people making the Apple Vision Pro 2. And then they just seemingly axed all of the development on the Pro 2 entirely when, you are doing the budget version, and that is your only fucking concern.
That makes sense.
And it still has like a ridiculously like far out there release date, even for the budget one. I think it was either the end of next year, so the end of 2025 or 2026.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Your shit's done. This product is cooked.
Yeah. There's no way you can turn around and make something that was $4,000 this year affordable ever.
I mean, you can. It won't do all the same functions.
Right.
No one needed that headset to be made out of metal and glass.
No.
That is an easy way to cut all sorts of costs right there. But the thing is, your momentum's dead in the water now. What the fuck do you think's going to happen a year and a half from now? This isn't the original iPhone. This isn't actually a watershed moment in computing.
No. Like nobody's craving that. Nobody sees it and wants to do that.
You just literally launched the worst headset on the market. And you're going to have to leave it at its insane almost $4,000 price point for a year and a half?
Yeah,
or 2.5? That's fucking,
all
you're
these
fucked.
All these companies want to make this iPhone 2 because the iPhone is one of the most revolutionary inventions in human history.
Yep.
I understand dispassionate assessment is a difficult skill. Especially at the corporate level. But I feel like you should be able to look at your product and go, is this as paradigm shifting as having a computer in your pocket?
Yeah, and the answer, as it turns out for the rest of time, mostly no.
Yeah.
Mostly no. When you invent the neural link that I implant in my brain and go to actual simulated reality, that might be as important. Maybe.
Honestly, not even sure then. How's that going to help you at the grocery store? Someone's writing a sassy comment in 100 years. Oh, they didn't know.
we'll see. I can eat really shitty real food because I can go into VR and eat fake food.
These motherfuckers don't know about spinach posting. Yeah, no, and that's the funniest thing about all of these industries that crop up around insane, unsustainable practices. It's like no, that's not going to happen.
You're not going to find
have
gold again.
Like the Apple Vision Pro might succeed if you priced it at a fourth the price, maybe, and still to a lesser extent than countless other devices in the exact same space. Just because your Apple branding would have been nice, and no one wants to pay $4,000. Literally no one. Even the people who did, that money doesn't mean anything to them, so they don't understand what it means to spend $4,000. You're not going to make an iPhone 2. Anyway, Rise of the Round?
That was it for Rise of the Round.
Okay. What do you want to move on to?
I guess most of us played SMT5 Vengeance. You guys want to talk about that?
Oh yeah, I did play that.
I moved on to that when I was like, I can't finish Rise of the Round. It's not ending. I was like, no, I need to play some of this before Big Think.
I didn't play it. I have fun.
I played up to the Tokyo Diet building. I did not enter it. I saved outside it. And by the way, very funny. There's no form of autosave whatsoever in this game, but they just let you save literally whenever.
Yeah, that's changed. The original,
I heard that was a new thing.
You can only save at the fonts or founts.
Oh, that's a lot less convenient, but those are also pretty close together, so I guess it's not that big a deal.
Yeah, it wasn't that big a problem back in there.
Yeah, they're just like old style save points.
Right. I really enjoy that it will just let you die.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't because you can change your own affinities, so I have been very careful to be like, no, I'm not weak to light or dark.
Yeah,
Never. No, thank you.
Absolutely not, man. It's been interesting seeing how they add in new content. Like, anytime you dig up the ground and they find a rail to ride on, that's something new.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Those like the dug up ones, or were the rails not in there?
The rails just weren't in there.
Oh my god, those are
so that means there's a lot of
really
new
good
area added. Okay, I
and
need
a
to
lot
know
of easy map traversal added in.
Yes.
Have either of you had a demon start taking stuff and then fuck off and ditch you?
I had that happen in the original.
I know it's a thing. I don't think anybody's done it to me.
I'm not sure it is still a thing because I haven't had it happen once.
Yeah, I bet it's still a thing because it wasn't the original. Because I remember they didn't ditch even. They were just like, I took all your HP. Now I'm going to kill you.
You know, every time they ask
neither
for
of those
HP,
have
I tell them to
happened
fuck off. And that they usually don't push the issue.
There is, and this is another thing that I'm not sure if I have just had this happen inexplicably 7 times in a row. But whenever you go into Demon Negotiate and they comment on your hair and one of the options is a hair pun, every single time I picked that, they've gone cringe and left. They not a single time have they attacked me or responded positively. They're just like lame and then they vanish.
I did have someone attack me for it, but I've never had someone positively react to it.
What cannons did you guys pick? Because I picked Cannon of Vengeance. Like, this is obviously the story they wanted to be in the game originally. I guess I should pick it.
Yeah, I also did Vengeance because, of course, it's a new one.
Like, I went Vengeance too because I'm like, oh, I think that's the new one, so I should do that. And also, I don't respond positively to being bossed around by disembodied voices in video games. Not after Shadow of the Colossus.
No, you don't want to listen to those.
They're like, look at this chick. Don't take her hand. Fuck you. You're not the president.
I think every of these Atlas remakes that adds a girl, they should all have the warning of this girl existing gets us closer to the world ending.
That's
so you know.
Usually they have that kind of energy to them,
but I
like,
need the
most of
actual
the
warning
time.
in game. It's like Maria.
Did any of you guys have you guys gotten the insane car conversation yet?
No.
It's so fucking funny.
Mm-mm.
It's like cars have caused millions of deaths, but they're so convenient. So who can say if they're good or bad? This is deep.
I've seen that on Twitter. Yeah. I think that sky view mode is new to this version too, where you just hit up on the D-pad and you see like
Oh wow.
around you.
Reminds me of Grandia, kinda.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Oh yeah, also that place where you can go talk to your demons, that's brand new.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Man,
so
no wonder
funny.
everybody's like, "Oh, the real game's out now."
But yeah, I was surprised how little new story I was seeing. Like I only recently got to the point where the new girl actually joins your party for a bit. So I haven't
Yeah.
played too much.
Yeah, it started. I assume I'm like, who the fuck is this? And it's like, oh, this is a new thing that attacks you here. I'm like, oh. And I've been told like it deviates more and more the deeper you get. Like it shoots off more and more.
That's good.
Yeah, speaking of someone who's never played an SMT game, and just kind of tuned it out whenever anybody talked about it because I'd never played one and I was going to get to it eventually. Holy shit! Finally getting the game to let me fuse demons was the moment I was waiting for when this whole thing opened up and I went, "Oh god, there's a whole game's worth of sassafras here."
Yeah, no, there's really nothing like it.
Yeah, no, it's a lot.
Does the little, I think her name's Amikaze or something, little fairy that follows you around?
The one in the kimono, the navigator.
Yes, Navigator. Scrimble of the Year candidate again. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's okay. I mean, they finished the game this year. It's like if a game left early access, right? Is it Amano Zako?
That sounds right.
Yeah, someone in chat saying that, and that's what I remember. Yeah, okay, there we go. It's been a few years since I played it in early access on the Switch, so you'll have to forgive me.
It is really nice to going here and be like, it sure is running at 60 frames per second. It looks really nice.
Yep.
The only thing that doesn't are the little min-mans, the red guys you collect. Red man, you know?
Yeah, red band. You collect red bands. I'm down the hall and about to turn the corner, and I hear you say you could save in places other than the founts or whatever.
Anywhere.
Everywhere
Yeah, you
in
can
the
save
open
anywhere.
world.
You just tap left on the D-pad and it instantly loads the save menu.
Yeah, it's great.
This stage is everything.
Man, I can picture the original Switch version, and I'm like, wow. No.
Bob gave that version his game of the year that year.
Yeah, no, that version's still incredible.
Especially since people are telling me like, yeah, like even on Switch, Vengeance just like performs and runs better and looks better.
That's
in all
crazy.
these different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think somebody's like, yeah, I think it was like the draw distance is better and demons don't go down to 4 frames a second at certain distances anymore.
Really? I can't even imagine that,
Right?
frankly, having played that game.
Yeah, no, that game, it looks nice because this is your style, but it's a Switch game.
Right.
Through and through.
Yeah. No, if you watch that giving games a chance, it's just me glowing about how much I love all these different systems and things in it and etc. And then just going, its only problem is that it is for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. I'm excited to get to the first like full real dungeon to see if they've actually like fully reworked it, because I feel like that's totally in the cards. Because those dungeons are kind of the most sad part of the game.
Yeah, that's what people
If they add Sonic rails to take you to new chunks of overworld that weren't accessible originally, that definitely seems possible.
Right?
Man, that game. Yeah, I need Bob. I need to get my backlog out of the way ASAP to play this game.
Yeah, I booted it up at being like, I'm gonna play a little bit of it, and then I go back to Rise of the Ronin. And then it's like 3 hours later, like, what happened?
Well,
I got to tell you, I remembered how stunning the main character's design was. It was really great to see it in this resolution at this frame rate. I absolutely forgot the amazing, elegant Naruto run they do.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I wasn't
Holy
prepared.
shit.
Especially since their normal jog is like really dorky looking.
Mm-hmm.
on neon blue ice skate heels.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Man,
It's a lot.
I really hate. I really, really hate that blonde guy in the baseball cap. I just don't like looking at him at all.
Seeing the freckles in high res is weird. They're
Oh.
way higher resolution than originally, so now it's like super detailed freckles.
Oh, I'm gonna have to see that. Anime Conan O'Brien chat.
No,
He's blonde.
Yeah, that's delusional. Like, I don't see that at all.
One moment, an $800 upscale is about to fall off a desk
Oh no.
because he didn't put anything to weigh it down at all.
Is it the one that's useful or the one that's fake?
it was the useful one.
Oh no, that's no good.
That is no good. Look, we couldn't afford to stick any small amount of metal in the bottom of it to weigh it down.
No, it's impossible.
That's impossible. And besides, it feels like the future when your things are light as fuck. Like everyone agrees the 6-axis controller is the highest quality feeling game controller ever made by a console owner, right?
Obviously.
Hey, remember when Microsoft hyped up their really good hardware announcements for later this year for months, and then it was, we're making a $600 Xbox with 1 more terabyte of storage?
Surely there's something else, right?
There better be a fucking controller. There better be an actual hardware announcement any human should get excited about. 4 months! Or was it 3? 3 months! 4 or 3 months! They were hyping us up for that announcement.
Uh-huh. They sure were.
Why do people give them whatever, this isn't...
Yeah, it's neither here nor there right now.
It's everywhere.
There's also, I've seen a lot of new demons, even in the first 3 hours here.
Mm-hmm.
See a lot of ones I confused, and also there's the ones in the environment. That's neat. But I don't really have anything else to say about just SMT5. You guys?
No, I feel like I haven't really started the story at all yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm only 12 hours into the game.
I like...
I'm combing all the corners.
Mm-hmm. And that's something I really like about this one. Like, I never buy the remastered Personas because it's like there's so much of that game that isn't playing it, that's watching it. And whereas so much of SMT5 is playing it. It is a lot of game.
Yeah, I've decided it's like, are you gonna buy Metaphor ReFantasia? What if they release the Super Deluxe version? I'll just pretend that version doesn't exist.
Yeah, because that's
whatever version I play, if I miss it the first time and play it the second, then the original thing didn't exist. If I don't play if I play the original and they make a new thing later, that thing doesn't exist.
Yeah, luckily I only dumped 16 or 20 hours into SMT5.
Right.
And the funny thing about Persona is that they keep going, yeah, all these spin-offs and other things are for the original. They have nothing to do with Royal at all.
Yeah.
So it's like, good, I'm glad I missed nothing.
It is really nice to play an RPG that remembers like the point of an RPG, where it's about choice and resource management, where if you just select basic attack, you will lose. And if you just use your strongest moves over and over, you will run out of resources before you get to your next destination.
Yes.
Yeah, they made a really good combat system that makes that incredibly rewarding. Meanwhile, as you're saying this, all I'm thinking about is auto battle just killing the person for selecting it.
I love that there are NPCs that are like, oh, you haven't met me as an enemy yet, but if you do, I'm not that bad. Just hit auto battle and it'll be fine.
Yeah, and it's like I think it's specific, like an enemy that reflects physical.
Yes, it is the elephant, dude.
So you get torn to shreds instantly.
Unbelievably funny.
This is a game with, like, you have regular auto battle, which, like, you can select auto battle attack or auto battle skill, and they'll just pick their best skills. This is a combat system that's so good that, like, I'll do 1 or 1.5 turns and then hit auto battle in the middle of a battle. Like, just set it up and knock it down. This is really dialed in shit.
Was the thing where chain battles can happen sometimes in the original?
I think so.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten the new version to see if they made any changes.
I hope I get something that makes them happen all the time, anytime your enemies are close. Because I discovered something really fucking funny. If you pop that thing that goes, if you pop your super skill, it's like everything this turn crits, and you kill them, and it rolls over into a chain battle. That counts as the same turn, and you get all your turns back.
Nice.
Yeah, it's so fucking good. Is that it? We good? We gonna
Seems
move
like
on?
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look forward to more talk of Shin Megami Tensei 5 and its protagonist, the Naho Bisco, in the future. Bob,
Yeah.
did you play anything else?
I played a lot of demos.
Why do we not have a demo jingle? We should have a demo jingle.
I was like, do you want to let them go before I go to the demos or not?
Yeah, you know what? Hey, Agro, what you been playing?
Well, I mean, I played a couple demos.
Hey, Chris, what you been playing?
We talked about everything I played already.
Fuck, hey, Agro, how were those demos?
I played the demo for Judero.
Judero. It's like Juicero, but with a D.
No,
kind of.
it's Judero. That is, if you were watching the bajillion game trailers that came out in the last week, the stop motion looking game.
That thing.
Yeah, the claymation one.
Uh-huh.
It
Yeah,
was real creepy.
it was.
It was. It is. It is based on Scottish folk and fairy tales. Everything I've seen seems to refer to it as a handmade video game because, it's not exactly stop motion or claymation. It's got a real psychedelic feel to it.
Uh-huh.
And also some of that old William Street energy where like, is this meant to be quaint and fell off the edge into horrifying? Is it intentional? Like the vibe feels very intentional, but I'm not sure what the vibe is supposed to be. So I've got this constant feeling of unease. Like any minute now, this thing's gonna left turn into some real fucked up territory. Like I haven't felt this way since playing completely unregulated games on Newgrounds back in the day.
Right.
Oh my god.
This game is an isometric Souls-like.
I see.
Okay.
It's the closest genre tag I could get. Like there are save points that refill your health and respawn enemies. It is basically an isometric game. You've got basic attack combos and you buy spells from the shop for some reason. Like, oh, good choice, Judoro. All of the voice acting is great. The stories are terrifying. At one point, I have to go into the woods and fight a thing called Evelyn to retrieve a stolen baby. Everyone who can hear the sound of my voice, go play this demo. I cannot express to you that you need to experience this demo.
Bob, you
Yeah.
can hear his voice. You know that, right?
Uh-huh.
Just checking.
It was on the list. I just didn't get to it. So I guess I got to go get to it.
Why did you not get to it? What do you have going on with your 700 demos?
Yeah, every time I scrub back through another video or conference from this week, I'm like, oh shit, that is a demo too. God damn it. So many demos.
Yeah, luckily Steam Next Fest, they didn't take down the demos this time mostly.
Oh, thank God!
That's
God damn
fantastic.
it! I
Right.
actually would have gone in from the beginning if I had known, because that was the part that upset me about all the other times.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, here's how that game looks for anyone who just didn't even see it.
God.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it like what if the team who animated Robot Chicken made Xavier Renegade Angel?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oof.
God, that actually reminds me. There's another indie game that creeps me out with its aesthetic in this. Yeah, Hylix. Thank you, Chad. I was trying to remember the name of Hylix. This is very Hylix core in its unsettlingness.
I played another game with a really weird aesthetic that showed up in a few conferences this week. 10 Dead Doves.
I don't remember this
Number
one.
10 or word 10?
Number 10.
Okay.
It is a PS1 ballpark survival horror game. You've got weird, like you've got the low poly models and their faces are textures that they animate in different pieces. So every time they blink, they have the closed eye texture put over the... Yeah, Dan, I threw like the first screen when that boots up into the Big Think channel.
That's a lot.
This is really good. It's like me making a Tony Hawk character.
Yeah.
It is completely tank controls, like walk up to the object to right click it to look at it. I mean, I'm going to use the word atmospheric because that's what it is. It's fucking weird. This is the opening. Like, you then walk into the background and keep changing screens, and it's completely bizarre until you get to the, oh, by the way, you're in rural Tennessee looking for some vague thing called the ant colony behind a 10-foot electric fence.
I really don't like this guy.
No, it's unsettling. The faces are weird and horrible. But this game looks like it's going to be fucked up in all the best ways. It is another thing. Well, I mean, I'm talking about it because there's a demo out. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Just, you know what, for the full effect.
There is like one scary thing that happens in the demo, and it was deeply unnerving. Like the whole demo kind of builds up to it. I'm super glad that indies have gotten to the PS1 and have cracked that technology and are just making a shit ton of creepy PS1 games. Truly the creepiest graphical era I think we've had.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that exact, 5th gen to 6th gen energy where you throw a shape on the screen and that horrifies and compels your brain to fill in the blanks.
Mm-hmm, we got just good enough.
Uh-huh. To compel imagery, right? Into your brain space and for you to fill the blank. Unlike 7th gen with prototype. So, someone left a comment on one of our VODs where they're like, how I wanted to watch a blind playthrough of Prototype and they hated it. And I'm like, I don't even think I hated it that much. I thought it was bad, but that doesn't mean I hate it.
We're talking about 7th gen. There's a whole dimension of bad beneath that.
It's true. And anytime it comes up, it's like, they hated 7th gen game. And I'm like, one moment. You don't know how deep that well goes.
Also, you wanted to see something blind playthrough, and you got a blind playthrough, and they hated it, and you didn't expect that?
Well, yeah, because they love it. So, obviously, why would someone else on the internet come to a different conclusion? Looking forward to the Animal Well spoiler cast.
I don't know if I talked about it, and I don't remember if I played it this week or last week, but I did check out the demo for a Kimbot.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember if you brought that up last week.
I brought it up
I
last
think
week.
Bob talked about it.
There we go.
Man, yeah, I refuse to play a game like that not on a controller. And that's a me thing. I don't do a lot of PC gaming.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So playing that kind of game, mouse and keyboard, was awful for me. The writing is bad.
Yeah.
Like in a, hey, this is my first screenwriting class, and I don't understand that characters aren't supposed to just state their background and motivations. Bad. Now imagine playing a Ratchet and Clank game where they didn't know how to make levels.
Wow.
So it's just a series of islands.
Yeah, no,
No.
it is just...
Now, Bob,
Yeah.
you played Deadlocked, where every level is a multiplayer level, retro engineered to be a single player level, and that still towers over this? Like from they knew how to make a level?
Yeah, like they made a level and then used it for the wrong thing. This is a series of copy-pasted assets in a long, strung-out archipelago.
I'm very excited for the flop swap between Akimbot and Clive and Wrench.
I wonder if this game works with a controller if you have an Xbox controller. Because I don't think me or Egger have one.
Real quick, you don't have any of them? We didn't send you home with even one.
No.
That's funny.
And it hasn't been a problem?
No, it largely hasn't. Weird that the one named Clive and Wrench or whatever isn't the Ratchet and Clank knockoff. The one named Akimbot is.
Right.
That's fucking weird.
It is pretty weird.
Anyway. Clive and Wrench looks like a Christian game.
It does.
It
does.
Yeah, it does. Shit.
Just change the title to say spiritual warfare and see if it changes audience reception at all.
Oh, God. Bob, what other demos have you been playing?
Oh, no, Bob! What demos have you been playing?
I tried Kitsune Tales.
Not Kitsunogami.
No.
Kitsune Tales, is that LES?
That was ILS.
I see.
This game is blatantly Mario Brothers 3 reskinned.
Okay, so this is the one that's like a gay furry girls Mario 3.
Uh-huh.
With Goemon Town segments.
Not that I saw.
Okay.
Yeah, all I played were Mario 3 levels.
I mean, it looked like it was primarily Mario 3 levels.
Yeah, I played quite a few of these Mario 3 levels. Imagine Mario 3 without any power-ups except Star. Is that fun? No.
I gotta tell you, some interesting stuff is coming up on the internet when you Google Kitsune Tales. Like, what if Tails was a Kitsune?
I mean, that makes sense. It's just 2 words.
I just think it's really funny that it's not even like, we're just gonna show foxtails. It's gonna be Tails miles per hour as... Anyway, let's get that on screen.
But yeah, I got the Star power-up and also the Karibo Shoe. I don't know why that was in one of the levels.
Everybody loves Karibo Shoe.
I guess. But instead of turtles, you have armadillos. Instead of Goombas, you got beetles. Instead of dry bones, you got skeletons. It is astonishingly direct.
And for anyone who thought Mario 3 was not a good point of comparison and Bob just meant platformers on the NES, no.
God, the number of blatantly, we're just making this game I have seen this year is astonishing.
Weirdly, it doesn't have the thing where, you know how in Mario 3 you can butt slide down a hill?
Yeah.
That doesn't work. You can slide down the hill, but then the Goomba will hurt you.
Dude, the Looney Tunes game figured that out.
I know, right?
What? All right.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, really not much to say about it. It's not good. It's just the art's kind of nice.
I gotta ask you,
man.
That thing in the upper right, the series of arrows ending in an exclamation mark, does that in fact go and fill as you start to run really fast?
It does, but there is no flying. So unless it's just not in the demo, or I didn't get far enough. But it seems crazy to just not have a raccoon transformation or something. I mean, you're playing as a Kitsune. The whole thing is transforming the stuff, right? Right? If you take a hit, you untransform and turn into a regular fox.
Okay.
That's your mini form.
Cool.
Yeah.
I still want to play this.
Yeah, it's fine.
As it turns out, overall, you can make a pretty middling 2D game, and I will feel more compelled to play it than most high-end 3D video games ever made, as it turns out. Oh, yeah. On the earlier topic of Akimbot on a mouse and keyboard, I have a large set of like parameters of how a shooter looks and whether or not I want to play it on a controller or if I find that fucking impossible.
Okay.
Like, Overwatch on a controller, nightmare.
Right.
Doom Eternal on a controller, nightmare. Call of Duty on a mouse and keyboard, what are you, some tryhard? What are you doing? That feels fine on a controller. What are you fucking doing? It's really weird that shooters are like that.
Yeah,
there's a game feel thing.
Like, there's so much little things that can affect that.
Yeah, and one thing Insomniac always did excellently with the controller feel on Ratchet and Clank is that just aiming feels correct. It feels good.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope when it works on a controller or Kimbot also maybe feels good.
Right? That's the high order.
What's next, Bob?
Kill Knight.
2 words?
Yeah, all caps.
Knight with a K?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, this one, yes.
Yeah, it's like a top-down twin-stick shooter that's all about fighting off waves of like weird little creatures. Like they're just little bug creatures. They're really creepy. And you're pretty much all in one room, but the room transforms shapes and has obstacles appear and stuff like that. Like lasers will start coming out of the walls.
Oh, that's really cool.
And it's not random at all. Like it seems very arcadey. Like though there is these exact waves of enemies coming from these places, the whole thing is memorizing where they're coming from and everything like that.
And you're not traveling to new areas of a world. You're literally just staying in the same area space.
Yes,
that's interesting.
As it transforms.
That's really weird.
Yeah, and it's got a ton of different mechanics. Before you even play, it's like, play the tutorials. There's lots of weird things in here. So you got your main double pistols.
Mm-hmm.
They have a reload mechanic like Gears of War when you're out of ammo. And if you time that reload right, you can get like your pistols shoot fast for a little bit. And then you have a mechanic where enemies drop red orbs you can absorb by hitting R1. And you like suck them in. And this builds up a meter so you can do a special like energy cannon move. The enemies that are killed by that get you health restorers. And then you also have a sword. If you kill guys with your sword, you get heavy weapon ammo. The heavy weapon is like a shotgun that clears the screen. And if you time the reload with a sword hit or with a absorb thing, it does a better version of either of those. It's just got a ton of little things like that going on. And then you need to kill things constantly. Because if you drop your kill combo, basically the more you kill, the faster your guns shoot. And the faster you move.
Yeah.
So you don't want to drop that combo because then you'll be back to how as powerful as you were at the beginning, which is not good. But yeah, it's really neat. It's very hard though. Like I was not able to beat. They give you one area. I wasn't able to beat it.
I need to try it.
Yeah, no, it definitely seems like something to be up your alley.
Yeah. Less
Really?
exciting than an Ex Machina, but
Right.
it's a different enough thing where I'm interested.
Mm-hmm. And I really like the art style and playing as a weird knight dude with guns. You also have equipment system where they're different. Like there's different guns. Like I already unlocked the different pistols and it would turn into double shotguns. And it looked like you could swap out your like other super weapon and your melee weapon and stuff like that too. So I'm really curious how that expands out. How many they plan to have in the full game and all that. Mm-hmm. So that was cool. I also tried...
The name of that again was Kill Knight.
Kill Knight.
What else did you try?
Rose and Locket. Which is a side-scrolling twin-stick action game. You play as like this cowgirl. It's all in silhouette, pretty much. It's got a really neat art style to it. And you're playing as this character who's trying to save her daughters, whose soul is trapped in the locket she carries with her, and she like talks to you sometimes. Really neat art style. It seems like it's going to have a lot of cool stuff with just solid areas made of solid colors where you need to platform around and use your gun to solve puzzles and also kill enemies. Unfortunately, I like 10 minutes in, I got stuck in a wall, and the game doesn't save at all. So I wasn't replaying that 10 minutes to get past there and see where it was going. And a lot of that 10 minutes was tutorial stuff that couldn't be skipped.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. It looked cool though. I'd like to try it again. Just not worth it right now.
Uh-huh.
And that was Rose and Locket. Moving on. Demon School, which is all one word.
Okay. Capital S?
No.
Okay.
Weirdly.
Are you sure it isn't Damanschul?
Well, you play as a high school.
Uh-huh.
and there are demons.
Nah, I'm not sold.
This is extremely obviously based directly on Persona. It seems like heavily inspired by 2's art style.
Oh, this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been seeing this around for quite a while.
We have. It's set in the year 1999. With apocalypse is about to happen, and you're trying to stop it at this school that has something going on, and you're like on some mysterious island where there's demonic rituals and stuff happening. And it's so far, it doesn't seem to have that problem of being written by someone who has no idea what 1999 was.
Oh, that's good. I've had enough of those recently.
Yeah, and that could easily change, but nothing in this demo just screamed out to me like, that doesn't make any sense. It's like, no, they're like, yeah, there's a computer lab. Like, that's something that would actually be at a high school.
Right.
They have a zip disk. That exists.
Right, yeah.
Like, nothing feels wildly out of time, and no one acts insane. Like, I can't get a job. The year 1999, I have a college degree. But yeah, it seems pretty neat. I'm kind of digging the story. It's got a lot of just, okay, go around the school, plays this group of kids who are all pretty likable. They all have their own thing. Like, none of them are extremely stereotypical, except for the big brawny dude on the middle right, who is just...
He looks like a Kunio-kun.
He does.
He just, when I look at him, I see a Kunio-kun.
But yeah, he's the dumb, strong character, and that's played up to about what you expect. Which, who knows, maybe they'll give him more stuff later on. The overworld music feels like it sounds kind of like you hear it on a title screen for a Silent Hill game, which I really enjoy.
Yeah.
Like, there's something like indie rock about it that really works.
I love that fucking vibe, dude.
And the combat system is really weird. It's a tactics system where, you know, they move on squares like in Final Fantasy Tactics, but the whole thing's designed to be really quick. And okay, every character moves in a set pattern. Like, they can only move two
Like
squares.
chess pieces.
Yeah, it feels almost like imagine it's more inspired by checkers than by a regular tactics RPG.
So none of the characters move in different ways?
No, except one. One of your characters, instead of moving 2 places at a time, can move through enemies and like shunts them behind her.
Huh.
And causes status effects by doing that.
Okay.
But everyone else moves 2 squares at a time, and if you run into an enemy, it'll bounce the enemy back and do the damage to them.
Huh.
And then you have your healer, who is the black guy. He actually, you can do that to your allies, and it'll heal them, and if they have full health, it'll give them an attack boost. And there's lots of really weird little things around that. It took me quite a while to understand how the movement worked, because there's also a mechanic where you can, at the beginning of a turn, sidestep and it makes them go left or right to one square and then do their move, like do their double jump to like diagonal forward or backwards. And it's all about killing so many of the enemies that appear in this area, and then you can actually end the encounter by going to the other side of the board, kind of like in checkers or chess, where you'd go get your character knighted, but instead that just ends the encounter.
Huh.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and I feel like you need to try it. I could sit here and try and explain it more, but it's just really complicated and weird. My main concern is it feels like I don't know how they're going to make this an RPG, because there's not exactly a lot of room for stats to expand. Like, every character seems to have 3 hit points, and that's all the UI even accommodates for. So I don't even know what you're going to do stat-wise to increase these characters. Like, will there be equipment? Will it be something more like a Paper Mario system where you have badges? I'm not sure.
And that the numbers are big, even though they're like 3.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, where your health seems locked in at 3, it feels really hard to adjust that. Like, it feels hard to build that out and more than just what it is.
Yeah, you could fill in the same boxes with different colors as you layer up, like NES style.
You
like
could.
Boss meters. I should say beat 'em up style, because really it wasn't even NES. 16-bit is when they really started doing that like crazy. But it did happen on the NES. I think it happened at least once.
Probably. There's a lot of things that happen on the NES.
Did you know a lot of things happen on the NES? Persona, in fact, happened on the NES. And that was Demon School.
Yeah, it was Demon School. Lost and Found CO, like company, I guess.
Like Lost and Found CEO?
Like CO dot.
Oh, okay. Co. Lost and Found Co.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a object finding game with a cute, like Japanese inspired art style. You play as Ducky, who may be a duck transformed into a person. I'm not sure. Who is helping a dragon goddess, who's like just a little mascot dragon. Find stuff for people. So you just go to these really big areas and have to click on things to find them. Like you have a list of items at the bottom. You also have a list of side quests or things that you can get by finding other stuff in the environment. Like, oh, these things don't have color. Find those and you get this point that you can redeem for a hint on where the item is.
For anyone who's not watching, it is 2D isometric perspective. Imagine a Where's Waldo built out into an isometric playset. Mm-hmm. That is what it looks like.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's just a relaxing little missing item game.
If only we got an HD console with a pointer like the Wii. This could have been like a watershed moment in gaming.
I'm really glad we don't have that.
Right.
Please, no more waggling ever.
No, we need a controller to come with every console that can just point at the screen. It can't do anything else. It doesn't have waggle. It literally can't.
Okay, if it's like that, maybe.
I mean, on the DualSense, you can technically
use the touchpad and
use the pointer, act like it's a pointer, and use the motion controls.
Yeah, that's not the same as pointing at a space on a screen and it reading out it as an XY coordinate. It's now just measuring your movement. Mm-hmm. You know, part of the reason the Wiimote works on the menu so well, as opposed to any game that tries to measure movement, is that an XY coordinate's a lot more easy to translate into direct action than you move this one much. We think.
Yeah, it's just, one of these requires a thing you set up on your TV, which go to hell.
What?
Never again.
No, it's fine.
No more sensor bars.
We can make it so small now. We can make it so small. We can make it tiny.
I'm sorry. It should never happen
tiny.
Again.
You can just make it the size of a sticker. It goes on the top of your TV.
You just light some tea candles like you did for the Wii. It'll be fun.
Yeah, exactly. What do you hate about the ritual of gaming, Bob? Just light up some tea candles, talk to Microsoft Sam, and have a good long talk about how you should kill yourself before May-Nok appears.
There's lots of cool things to find in the environment in this game. I think it's pretty neat, but a lot of times it did break down to getting all the side objectives was pretty much clicking literally everything in the environment, which is fine because everything has a cool little interaction where it shakes and something happens. Like you can knock over something and then that'll scare someone away, and then you'll find out, oh, they were actually Tanuki and not a person.
Ho!
It's fun. It's really neat. I don't know why more of these kind of games don't happen.
What helped them happen is if we had a controller. Hear me out. That came with the console where you can point at things.
I'm sorry. The only way it can work, honestly, is with a touchscreen or a mouse and keyboard like this. Like these games did well on the DS.
They did, yeah.
They could do well on the Switch if they had only a portable mode.
This is a lot of stuff to put on a screen that small.
It is.
I was going to ask you, I see this thing on the left side that implies it's layers. So are you able to click down the layers and it strips away the upper elevations?
No. Sometimes the areas have different rooms to go into and you click on there. So that thing on the side might take you to that. I'm not sure
cool.
what that is.
That's really neat.
But that could be just that environment is so big. They're like, yeah, we can do that. Because I didn't do that one.
Yeah, I honestly think this style of game is something that we're sadly not putting in a very mainstream format anymore.
No.
Yeah, because, controllers aren't good at this. Mm-mm. No one wants to hold a stick and wait forever while mouse cursor moves.
No.
I mean, the gyro could probably do it.
It can somewhat, but I don't think that's even that comfortable because you're holding a controller with both hands and then doing that with both wrists.
It would definitely, it is the least good of these options.
Least good. D-pad. You move 1 pixel. You cannot hold the D-pad.
But that's all I really have to say about Lost and Found Company.
Or Co.
Or Co, whatever you want to call it.
Fucking what you need to search to find the game. What else did you play?
The Amazing Crackpot Club.
Ah, yes.
We saw this a few times during the Summer Game events. It is the game that is a mix of a platform fighter like Smash and Pong.
Yep.
It's set in a magic school, and there's lots of really weird designs. Like one of your main character looks like he's a villain from Hat in Time. The weird yellow bird thing. I don't remember who he was. But yeah, it's as you expect, Pong, but you can run around this kind of large area environment for the Pong board, and you have different moves to knock the ball back and forth. So each character seems to have their own special move. Like some of them make the ball teleport. One of them can make a field of energy to slow down the ball, and it seems neat. The story maybe is too much, like way too many words. It felt like there was a ton of dialogue between every single fight.
That is not something I would expect from this based on the trailers and other stuff. That's weird.
Yeah.
It's a little weird.
But it seems fun. And
Is this
I didn't
out?
I don't
I'm
think
seeing a thing that says save 17% on it.
maybe it's in early access.
One moment. Yeah, let me check this out. It is in early access.
Okay.
And apparently the full MSRP is $12, so that discount is weirdly enough putting it at exactly 10.
But yeah, it's just trying it out if you like that sort of thing. Like, want to try this? I need to try it with other people because these AIs are too dumb to actually engage with the mechanics.
Sorry, you need to try it with other people? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
The AI just is not putting up basically any fight. They're like, oh no, my beaker got hit by the ball. I guess I'll stand there and watch it happen again.
So I see that person you're talking about, Bob. That is a trap inch in a coat.
Yeah, it is a champ.
That is a yellow trap inch in a fucking coat.
That's your main
pants.
character.
Oh my god.
It's awful.
Do you have any conical moves?
No, you don't have any conical moves.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't really dig the art style for any of the characters, and they all seem wildly different.
I'm only looking at Kiyumi and Kitsuro and also Rigel or Rigel or Rigel. I think they look kind of neat. I need to see them in motion, though. I need to know. Mm-hmm. We should try this.
But yeah, you're supposed to hit the ball into their enemy beaker enough times for the beaker to fill up and the beaker explodes. So it's not like, oh, you got 1 point, it's over or anything. It's a build-up sort of thing.
Mm.
And you can dash by using those little potions you see on the map. And that helps you quickly get to the ball. But there's only so many of them, and they respawn irregularly, so you gotta conserve them.
Mm.
But that's all I really got to say about the Amazing Crackpot Club.
Crackpots.
Crackpots.
But yes.
Sunset Devils.
That's a fucking name.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a really interesting game. It's like a isometric, almost top-down cowboy 2D game. And basically, everything in this game is about how you deal with the weapons you find. They will map every single feature of reloading to the part of your mouse. It's got some dark story about you being strung out, left to die in the wasteland. Is per usual is the cowboy story, I feel like.
Yeah.
And then you're out to get revenge on the bandits who did it. But these mechanics around, like, you have super little limited ammo, and you really need to learn how each gun works, or else you'll just get killed. Like the Derringer, you roll down on the mouse to open the chamber. You use the roll wheel.
Ooh.
You hit the left and right mouse click to pull out the old bullets. Hit them again to put the new bullets in. Roll the mouse thing up to close it, and then roll it back to cock it. And then you can shoot.
That's sick.
Yeah, and you need to do that every time you use up the bullets. And every gun has something like this. It's just
Oh my.
yeah. The revolver is a lot of fun because rolling the mouse wheel just spin the chamber. Mm-hmm. And you'll have to go through each chamber slowly and remove and put in new bullets. And then make sure of course close and cock it and all that. And then this applies to everything you get. So even the house restorers, which are like liquor bottles, you got to roll up on the mouse or on it to uncork it. And then hit the left mouse button to drink it. Make sure you recork it, because if you don't, if you walk around, it'll spill out.
Oh, that's really funny.
That's really good.
Yeah, there's so many things. And then I couldn't even quite understand how the rifle worked. Because you have a thing to feed in more bullets, and I'm like, how do I tell if I should be doing this or if I already have bullets in there? It's like, you can't. Okay, I'm gonna cock it. That ejected a bullet. I hope that bullet wasn't used yet.
You'll know that our stance on spoiler casts have gotten almost like political in nature. If we do a spoiler cast for this game based on it was cool and you should all care. we're done with AAA. We want to play the game with the insane reload mechanics.
Yeah, it's like, okay, here's our spoiler cast for the Warhammer 40K bolt gun DLC, because all AAA gaming is dead now.
I really like this isometric art style. It looks really cool.
Yeah,
just seeing these dudes splayed out and dead on the ground.
It reminds me of Boktai.
Yeah.
There's something very that about it.
Yeah, someone in chat was also saying, Boktai reminiscent. Yeah.
So that was really cool. I definitely was trying out that demo. It can be just brutal on your mind to try and wrap your head around this.
I'm a little bummed that it's really not searchable. You search Sunset Devils, it brings up pictures of mountains and shit.
Weird.
There are only 2 pictures of this game, and fun fact, neither of them are actually of the game. It's just like, here's the main character's face.
Oh yeah, the way that the item, like how many things it can hold system is really weird. You can hold 5 things total, and then you have to unequip something to hold a knife. So technically, you shouldn't even go around with 5 things, and you want to have that knife. You have to show your other things on the ground. God, and then to find more bullets, a lot of times you find guns. So you have to pick up the gun, unload it fully, then throw the gun back on the ground. And a lot of times you'll find rusted guns, which are not usable at all.
Apparently this is on Kickstarter. That may be why its searchability is so low.
I thought its Kickstarter already happened and was gone, but
no, it has 8 days left.
Oh.
And it's only about, let's say, 2/3 towards its goal.
Oh no. People should get on that.
Maybe
It is Kickstarter,
Maybe.
which is always scary.
It is a risk.
What is the total goal? Like how much do they have?
51K. They have 35.7.
Okay.
Yeah, these are reasonable levels they're trying to reach for, and they don't even have that many backers yet. Obviously, I know absolutely nothing about this Kickstarter, but at very least, try the demo,
right?
Because this is where gaming should get weird.
Yes.
That was Sunset Devils.
That's right. I just tried Wizard of Legend 2.
Iron Sword music kicks in because that's the most NES fucking name I've ever heard.
It is.
Legend of Wizard 2?
No, Wizard of Legend 2.
Wizard of Legend.
This is that arena thing, right?
It's a roguelike. I don't think it's an arena at all.
Some kind of gauntlet test.
Yeah, it's a test, a magic test gauntlet sort of thing where you go through different
Yeah.
levels in an arena. Well, not arena. You go through different areas. It's basically Hades.
Okay.
It's just imagine everything in Hades.
One
it's
moment.
that. But with
Oh, wow. I can really imagine that game right now.
but with 3D graphics and you're a wizard. And it's a lot more like typical roguelikes where you die and that guy is dead. It's now a new guy. You don't get to carry anything over.
Oh, so it's like
Anything.
Rogue Legacy.
Yeah, it's like Rogue Legacy, so there's probably stuff to upgrade in town I didn't see, and it seems like there's a lot of different spells to get, which will probably carry between guys. But the demo just gives you this set of spells, and you can try out a couple different things. Which is kind of neat. You can make your loadout really unique to yourself because there's like water, wind, electric, and stone techniques. And there's one of those for each type of spell you have. You have your basic spells, which you can use all the time. You have your spell that's on a cooldown, and then the spell that's on a big cooldown.
Okay.
And yeah, it's really plain. And then they have like, I had 3 different announcers throughout this game. Like every time a new run would happen, there would be a new announcer for me. And they all want to be funny.
Did any of them come off as the Darwin Project thing? Did any of them just come in with the real hype energy?
No, none of them.
On stage Xbox presenter.
No, unfortunately, none of them were quite that level.
Damn.
Fortunately.
Yeah. Look, I need to live on the edge. The 1 in 5 chance that a man will not shut up for the entire run.
Because instead they just talk incessantly, but it's all jokes and things are supposed to be neat and tell you more about the world. It's like, no, go in there as a hype man.
Yeah.
That's more funny at this point.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So does it remind you of a 1,000-foot story robot? A 1,000-foot tall robot golf, then, where it's just those 2 funny guys that they got to ramble over the whole golf
No, it
thing?
didn't come off as rambly like them. It's
Okay.
always one guy, and it seems very much tailored to the experience. And
Well,
not
that's
just,
good at least.
Yeah.
Still could have used E3 hype man, but,
Right.
that's good at
It's
least.
not the 100-foot. God, those announcers are terrible.
Yeah,
those are like the worst.
We couldn't even play a full fucking match without me being like, I am officially over this comedy.
But that's really all I had to say about it. It's a roguelike. It's not great. Maybe if you like roguelikes, it is great.
What if I like multiple announcers though?
Even better.
Okay, great.
That was Wizard of Legend 2. And that's all the Steam demos I played. But I played one other demo that came out this week.
What came out this week, Bob?
On the Nintendo Switch in Japan only.
Yep.
They released a demo for Reinatus.
It's true.
Oh.
The Kingdom Hearts core action game made by people who aren't Square Enix, but it got some weird blessing from...
Yeah, and they're even including characters from The World Ends With You.
And there was music done by Shimomura, I believe.
I think so. I don't remember on that.
And some other Square Enix producers, like, thumbs up.
Mm-hmm. So I got to try that. And just like you saw in the trailers, this sure is Vita Plus graphics.
Yeah, that is what I saw.
And I feel like them releasing the demo only on the Switch is kind of mean. I don't need to go out to the first main street and be like, the game is running it is running in single digits frame per second right now. Single digits.
Oof.
It is rough.
That is rough.
But other than that, the game seems kind of neat. I obviously didn't understand any of the story that was going on. I could tell the vagaries of it. It's in modern day Japan. There's association that's dealing with magic, and you play as one member of that, and then it seems to switch over to the perspective of this other guy who's not a part of their group that governs the magic and is just doing his own thing, fighting possessed people that are shown up in Japan. Can't really tell that much else other than that.
Why is the storytelling really obtuse? Or
It's in Japanese.
Okay, you play video games, right? I thought you watched anime.
And at one point, you go to a mystical forest, which I didn't really expect because everything they showed previously was in the city.
Yeah.
But there was like a gateway that took me to a forest realm.
Does it have like the Birth by Sleep City vibes from Kingdom Hearts 3, where you go there and it's got like the forest trail to the house?
No, there's no house. It is a desolate forest.
Okay.
Imagine a forest on the PlayStation Vita. Maybe you're playing Ease.
Yeah, that is literally where my brain went. I'm like, okay, Ease Forest, got this.
Yeah, that's where you went.
Okay.
The combat system's really weird. Basically, you have 2 modes you can be in. You can have your hood up or hat on mode for different characters. Like the main girl's got a fancy military hat she puts on, and the main guy's got this hood he puts up like you'd see in modern day Pretty much any Kingdom Hearts character. Imagine they had a hood. I know, most of them do.
I'm picturing it.
Aggro, you have a great imagination.
When you are in hood up mode, you can do like a super dodge. Like if you time your dodge right, you will teleport around the enemy and then shoot them with energy. And this charges a meter. And if you fill up that meter, you go into like a super mode and all your attack is extra strong. And when you're non-hood up mode, you can't build up that meter, but you can still dodge normally. You just don't get like the slow down time sort of dodge like Bayonetta. You just have regular dodging. And it felt almost like the first character you play is the lady who's got like the military uniform and stuff. And it felt like they literally, either her combat's really simplistic compared to the other character, or they had a tutorial mode on. Because she would auto air combo. And then I got to the other guy and it's like, yeah, he's got the attack button and a launcher button.
I'm trying to think if any Kingdom Hearts had a really piss-ass easy baby mode that was that hardcore.
I mean, maybe you could activate it, but I don't think any of them would be by default.
No, I don't think any of them were by default, but maybe that was the thing. I don't know.
Yeah. And then the last fight in the demo actually introduced having two characters in the party at once.
Uh-huh.
And it seems like that might be where the combat depth is going to come from, actually switching between these on the fly. Because right now it is just, what's up, Dan?
And then your partner was like, this looks like a good place to find some ingredients.
No. You could actually play as them. It's not like Kingdom Hearts there.
Oh, okay.
You actually switch to them mid-combat and mid-combo. So the characters I got to try were who I already mentioned, and then the third one showed up for literally one fight, who is like, I guess another girl with a hat, which is, I guess, will just all the girls have hats and all the guys have hoods? I don't know. But yeah, she's got a hat and like sporty sort of fashion to her.
Yeah.
So I did not get to see much of her, but she had her own combos and stuff. I'm still interested in the game.
Yeah.
I really want to play it on something that's not the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. Holy shit. It is amazing how much the Switch 2 being able to run a fucking video game is going to really help.
Yes. But yeah, that's all I really got to say about it. It still looks cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how that turns out, and I wish that they were dubbing it.
Why? You watch anime, don't you?
Uh-huh.
It's weird that they wouldn't dub it. Like, Kingdom Hearts is a very universal appeal game.
But this is set in Japan, so that broke their brain, I guess.
Well, I imagine it's probably just the publisher doesn't dub shit.
Yeah, that's real weird, because as we've discussed thoroughly in a non-positive tone, did you know dubbing shit's really cheap because you barely have to pay anyone?
Yeah.
And yet they still shortchange voice actors. What the fuck's with that?
Yeah, this is a Furyu game that they made such things as Monarch and the Caligula Effect 1 and 2.
So about
and
being Vita
Legend
Core.
of Legacy.
Yeah. This seems notably higher ranked than those.
Yeah,
but
and
still.
apparently the publisher is Nisa, who does dub things.
Oh yeah, they dub stuff all the time.
Right. So
They also published all their previous shit that was not dubbed though.
yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't expect the positive attention this would get in the West.
Probably not.
Probably not.
If
Probably
you
not.
judge it
They
like
underestimated Kingdom Hearts fans.
right. If they just saw it as a neck game from the Caligula Effect guys, of course you would.
And they're just an action game.
Yeah.
Set in Japan. Then you wouldn't think anything of it.
Right.
Anyway, did you play anything else?
I also booted up Rusted Moss just for a second because they put out the big update.
Yeah, I saw that.
That game's still really neat. I have no idea how to actually access the new characters I play. It says you just beat the game. I'm like, do I need to beat the game again? Maybe I do. I did go to a new area, though, and that area is sicko mode, which they kind of warned about. Like, yeah, this is the new challenge area. And I'm like, I can't get out of here and go beat the boss again to get the other character. I'm kind of upset that I'm stuck here now.
Oh, no.
But we'll see how that goes. It has some of those complicated platform mechanics in a game. So coming back to it after like 2 years.
Oh, yeah, it's rough.
It's rough.
It's rough. It's like, oh, I'm going to pick up my Returnal save file from a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
Here we go.
you're ready to go.
No, delete the file. Start over again, man. It ain't happening.
But that's all I played.
Oh, okay. So in VR chat. Oh, wait. No, that's not. It's the Podlords.
Ah!
Oh, fuck.
Yes, that's right. Oh, fuck. The Podlords. Podlords such as BN12, Red Blaze 27, Suzushiro, Rado, 101 Shades of Wonderful Remastered, WTF Spider-Man, Mr. I Like Spam. I'm doing a bros check-in. I need 6 bros to share, not like, to show excellent bros moves timing. Let's go. I'm glad Nintendo's putting out a game so I can experience a real brotherly relationship.
Right. Finally.
DFW 3K, Muckbun, Shiny Mew, Kristen. Happy Pride Month from the Juice of Frost Corporation. Official Shadow Corone. Of course. Cooper Tank. Believe in our Lord's plan, and then you shall find salvation, Nahobino.
Oh my god. Okay. I was trying to find it.
It's real fucking faint this time.
Yeah.
That's good shit.
Yeah, zoom. Yeah, zoom.
Enhance.
It's a nice chin you got there.
Yeah, it's great.
Those eyes, they look familiar. Sorry, I gotta stop myself from doing this song during these segments. Indigo Sykes. 4 rats serving up smiles. Oh, look at them. They're so cute.
So many.
Gaijin is back from vacation. Did that Xbox show single-handedly save them? Bad news.
Yeah.
No.
The dead are in fact not rising.
Shinji16 would like to remind you to try the demo for Tactical Breach Wizards one last time before he stops being nice about it.
Oh shit, I did.
Yeah, I thought you did, and that's why I was like, I don't need to play it.
Whoops. That game is immaculate. Go play that demo.
If only a Podlord would have reminded Bob! A raccoon looking very closely at that new Mario and Luigi game. Normal. Zero Mission on Switch and Prime 4 on Switch 2! I mean, presumably it's also on Switch 1.
Yeah, it'd be weird if it wasn't, right?
It would be weird at this point.
I hope that trailer wasn't running on Switch 2.
Yeah.
The Super Mim. Yo, holy shit, I can't believe they're really bringing them back for Prime 4. Ah! My life is suffering! Why?
Oh, god damn it.
That is stunningly well done.
I am not even acting. I didn't notice it was Jin Carter until I pulled it up.
Yeah,
full
neither did I. I
screen.
was like, yeah, that dude has a weird shaped head. Whatever.
Finally. It's all building up to this.
We need to ask Eric if this was Silex's plan. We're gonna have to bring him out for the spoiler cast. God damn it. Sarlene, Timothy Pfister, Bearded Joe, Krungle Spum, Pleochrome. Who's ready to be a Nintendo fan for the next 10 years, baby? Yeah! Podlord gets it! Phantom Brave, the lost hero!
Finally.
Trunks, please stop doing the heat dome attack in the Northeast. I'm fucking dying out here.
It's so bad, man. Elden Ring players, when it's time to find that golden-haired demigod twink. Looks like Summer Games Fest is all over. And out of nowhere, he broke SGF in half with Metroid Prime 4.
My God.
My God. Releasing every game you ever wanted in the next year and a half. Man, I'm noticing a theme with the Podlords. They seem to agree with the title of this big thing. I'm sorry to anyone who has any ability to pronounce this name, because I don't. Kuchulain. Prototype.
Big nose.
Flawless, no notes.
I am known as Velatines, Alkalinella, Zyfax, Cicinabohertz, Gumbo Go, Bila, Blue Stravadar. Oh my God. Stradivari, Talentret, Pierre Andre, Charcon, Hamos the Fourth. Ow.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that written out before.
Right?
Ow. Don't worry, Bob. If the 1080's no longer cutting it, I got a new GPU for you. Oh, wow. It's got 256 megs of RAM, Bob.
Wow, and look at that snake. It's so powerful.
It's so cool.
That looks like gas station dick pills.
Yeah, gas station CBD packet.
Where's Ryu and Chun-Li? We just need them on it too. Thank you very much to our Podlords.
Thank you, Podlords.
Thank you, Podlords. Thank you, Podlords. Thank you, Podlords. Thank you, Podlords. Thank you, Podlords. Thank you, Podlords.
Thank you, Podlords. And if you'd like to become a Podlord, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com. For as little as $5 a month, you get access to many benefits, such as early access to Chugging, Bleach, and Pokemon Go to the Movies, our 2 monthly anime review podcasts that will both end this year.
Thank God.
Wait, 1 second, 1 second. We can make that even more dramatic. They will both end this year. Where did the thing go? Oh, okay, here we go. Okay.
You also get benefits such as extended content from Armchair Devs, which we really need to do another one of, and Gamer Premonitions, as well as a patron-funded show one a month, either a public show where we watch a horrible thing and patrons get a commentary track, or a private show where we watch a good thing and patrons get to vote on what good thing we watch between 4 choices, and part of the game is trying to guess who brought what. Spoilers, if it's boring, Aggro probably brought it. You also get an entire movie called Isolation 119, a spectacular film where a man goes to Thailand to solve the mystery of having a tax write-off on his vacation to Thailand. This is a full feature-length film. It is delightful. I have watched it 4 times and will likely watch it many more before my inevitable death. That is patreon.com/GB podcast. And if it doesn't, you don't have any money, it always helps us immensely to just tell people. Just spam links to us in random Twitter threads until you get blocked, on Reddit until you get banned. Spray paint our name on things allegedly not real, satire, and actionable. Dive bomb the stage during a political rally and just scream GB podcast, GB podcast. And then go limp when they try to cart you off, so it's more difficult for them. That's patreon.com/GB podcast.
I hear we have news. Was there news? Did anything get announced this week?
I mean, not much.
Anything remarkable? 20 years in the making?
Oh my God, do you see it too?
Is it also Jinkaria? I'm scared now. I live in
Statistically
constant fear.
speaking, it probably is.
Yeah, it's a thing in my life. It might be Jinkaria. Spoilers, I might be Jinkaria. Unclear. Anyways, hey, we're here to talk about the news. God, oh Lord, oh God, oh Lord. Oh God, oh, I don't like scrolling down. Scroll any direction but down. Dr. Aggro, tell us some news.
It has been officially reported that Sony will once again not be at Gamescom this year, just like Nintendo. So that means, I mean, you know what that means. Xbox can still win.
They can still win?
Oh my God.
Sony won't be at Gamescom. They'll be at their own thing that's online only a week after Gamescom, where they reveal the fucking PS5 Pro.
Yes, that's true.
That absolutely is going to time up something like that. It's so fucking insane.
Man, they're really just gonna let Concord just waltz out into the grave, huh?
Yeah.
Did you know their beta week?
Fucking
I guess. Did you know that fucking beta weekend isn't even like open?
Oh, it's only for people who bought it?
I think it's pre-order only.
No, what?
You're
That's
insane.
incorrect.
Oh, that's
Don't do
the
it.
opposite
That's
of the right
suicide.
decision.
Oh yeah.
I might have been misreading it, but that's what I thought I picked up from reading about it, because I was like, surely they want everybody to play this and know how good it is, right?
Right.
Surely they don't want this very expensive looking game to just die. Surely they weren't like, $40 is the sauce. We don't have to do anything else.
And then Sony the execs just cart out the fucking casket with on the shoulders dancing as they're moving towards the hole in the ground.
Yeah, maybe it's one of those things where it's like you get early access to the beta if you pre-order.
See,
'Cause
that's
what
the thing.
happens a lot of
I
times.
could have sworn the information that was out was people get it slightly early. They get Concord slightly early, period, if they get the pre-order or whatever. But I swear the beta was for everyone. This is the dumbest business decision in the world if they didn't do that. Word of mouth is the only thing that can save you, man. That's why Helldivers took off.
Right.
What are you doing?
I think it's goofy that Sony and Nintendo won't attend GameCon. Now that pretty much we're over COVID, that's really a place for people to actually gather and play their stuff. And they should just be there for that. They don't necessarily do a presentation.
So
Okay. There will be a open beta and a pre-order beta.
Okay. Okay, Bob, hear me out. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Nintendo doesn't need to go to Gamescom because their marketing department is so strong. Their games sell so well. They don't need Gamescom. You know, it's a little bit of unnecessary spend. They can save that money. Sony can't, because if they go, that will push the budgets of their game just barely over the line and they will collapse.
It is true that my first read of that wasn't like, oh, they're not going to Gamescom because of this. Like, oh man, there's any wrong move and they go over the fucking cliff.
Right? They have to charge you $250 of rent up front.
The next couple of years are going to be so fucking precarious for that company.
Oh, it's good. We got some real exciting times for the businesses at the top end of video games, but weirdly enough, not the games always. You know, we would have gotten a much more positive read about out of the Xbox conference if we had just gone, oh, Doom looks good. And then when Xbox made Doom in our brains.
Right, which
Yeah,
you have to
I've
have
seen
some sort
many.
of
I have
mental
seen
injury for
many
that.
people to be like, "Are you trying to tell me that you think all these Nintendo games are more culturally relevant and important than Doom?" To which I say, a lot of them are going to sell more.
Yeah, I would make an argument that, Metroid Prime 4 is more culturally important now than the new Doom.
I'm so scared that Microsoft is crazy and is like, why didn't it sell as much as Doom Eternal, the game that launched at the start of the pandemic when everybody was stuck inside? Why didn't it sell 15 million copies? I guess it has fallen off. We better shut them down.
Anything is possible. No one is safe. I think that's the main takeaway that everyone should have. No one is safe at Microsoft.
We didn't even
especially.
talk about it during that Sean Layden interview, but a thing he explicitly said was, I don't understand how everybody thought COVID would last forever.
Yeah, it's true. He also
Come
said
back, Sean.
He also said some things about the worst thing about the market right now, and not from the market itself perspective, but the development, is he talks about you don't get to learn it all in the industry anymore.
Yeah.
If your first game didn't sell gangbusters, you're done.
Yeah, which is insane.
He's like, that's not
how
viable.
things work.
That's not a
We
good
have a
way to be
story
doing
about
this.
that just later today.
Oh, great. Awesome. Fucking swell. Anyways,
Man.
Rick to Gamescom.
All of these really solid indie titles coming out this year is really encouraging.
It really is. If I were one of those doomers who loved 7th gen because my taste buds don't work, and also was talking about the downfall of modern gaming at the AAA end, I sure would be a miserable person with no functioning taste buds.
Yeah.
So, hey, Bob.
Hey,
Will you let Aggro continue the next story? Because obviously you're the reason he hasn't.
obviously.
Aggro, I've dealt with the Bob problem. You may move
Silence,
on.
Bob. In what do you mean that wasn't already a thing news? This July, Jackbox is releasing what they're calling the Jackbox Mega Picker, where instead of having to boot separate Jackbox collections, it's just one launcher that has all of the Jackbox games you've bought, and you can just launch all of those games from there.
So if you want me to
Wow.
take this a step further on the how has this not happened yet angle, people made this for them already. The community saw the demand and delivered on it already.
Well, it's a good thing they're catching up then.
Yep.
Yeah. As it turns out, if they don't catch up, then that they exist in the exact space where they will drop out of relevance entirely. That's how it feels. When is this is completely unjustified. None of you deserve to hear this. I should be sorry, but I'm not. Anyways, when is Xbox going to give the Oatmeal Studio to make a game? Then shut it down before it ships the game. Hey, Aggro.
Hey, Dan. So you remember that Nintendo show that happened recently, right? Mm-hmm. You remember how on that super special "fuck you, pay me even more" Nintendo Online tier, where all the 64 games are, they announced Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
Brace yourself for surprise. It's got some problems.
Oh.
Apparently the music's too quiet for no reason, which is something that has happened on that exact service before.
Weird.
I didn't play Perfect Dark back in the day, but apparently there's a dizzy effect where you get that little bit of an after image. It's apparently turned up to 11 on the Switch version, and it looks like DLSS threw up on the screen, and it becomes unplayable.
It is really good. Did you see the clip?
I did see the clip.
It's unbelievably funny because that's how it should look at absolute maximum values, but apparently that's what it does from like frame 1 of being dizzy.
Yeah.
Some of the lighting effects just pass through objects like your hands and the gun you're holding. The explosions are weirdly dim, and instead of leaving exploded debris, objects just despawn when the explosion goes off. Apparently, even basic aiming overcorrects and just feels bad. Yeah, all of these subscription services with bad versions of beloved games are really starting to cross the line from being disappointing to fucking offensive.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
true. It's really weird because this is happening at the same time that the Sly Cooper game got re-released on the PS5, and that version's like really solid. Unless you're on a PS4 and you have those extra features turned on, which is too much for the PS4 to handle.
That's funny.
Yeah, because the extra features, for people who don't know, literally like save states and rewinding. Like it has rewinding like the PS1 and PSP emulators had. Yeah, this N64 emulator that they keep rolling out these games with always seems to launch like really rough per game.
That seems crazy. It's
Like,
like
it
at some
keeps
point you
happening.
think you just learn, like, don't launch it yet. Like, because Nintendo's really good at not launching things.
Yeah, as it turns out, they make, for all we know, Metroid Prime 4 is done.
Right.
And they're just working on the next gen version. That, for all we know, that's literally what's happening right now. Because Nintendo's done crazier things.
It's true.
They sat on Dread for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking nuts.
I was surprised to see Dylan Job of Warhawk and Starhawk fame.
Yes.
Yeah, working on Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, I had to retweet that so people could see, because I know a lot of our audience really enjoyed the Metroid Prime 4 reveal, and Dylan Job, once again, worked on Warhawk, worked on Starhawk. He runs a studio in Texas, I believe, that is still called Lightbox Interactive, but I could be completely wrong on that. It could be a newer studio. Weirdly enough, he's done like dev support and stuff on Call of Duties.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty exciting, pretty cool. We're going to move on to Bob news. Hey, Bob.
Hey. We covered last week in a live stream format the Yacht Club game event.
Now, if you watched the summer game events and not Yacht Club, you may be surprised to hear that a number of people in the comments were maybe bummed out that we were so bummed out by how bad this was. It was kind of terrible, and I regret it.
Yeah, it was unbelievably bad.
So, Bob, let's recap it now, I guess.
Sure. Shovel Knight Dig is coming soon for PS5 and Xbox Series.
Cool.
That's neat.
Thank you.
They also announced Shovel Knight Shovel of Hope DX. This is like a deluxe version of just the regular Shovel Knight, none
of the expansions.
None of the expansions.
Spectre, not King.
No.
Just Shovel Knight, the game that launched 10 years
those
ago.
Campaigns, though?
No.
What? That's not like, even if you can't use these features in them, why did you make what?
Yeah.
Right. So let's just bust through what it is first. So, it's this definitive version they're trying to make of the original Shovel Knight.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and run down it.
Yeah, we got 20 playable characters you can switch between. Has online multiplayer, has rewind and save states, and has 300 cheats to alter the game.
But it does not come with any of the expanded content, like any of those other stories.
No.
That is completely separate. And even more bizarrely during this event, they're like, there's a discount on you buying the old version of Shovel Knight that gets you fucking nothing towards this new version we just announced.
Yeah, I don't... And this new version, I think it's only officially announced for Steam. I'm not even sure if it's coming to consoles or
Are
not.
you fucking serious?
I couldn't find any info on that.
Well, I assume it'll be consoles. I mean, Steam first and then consoles.
That's weird, though, because they started on Nintendo every time. Let me see.
Yeah, maybe there's something missed.
Okay, they have listed but not active sales pages for other things. No, that's Shovel Knight, Shovel of Hope. What is this?
Yeah,
That's not even the DX one.
This whole announcement's bizarre and not fully explained, and they just act like it's something great and that you've always wanted. Which is so strange. It's like, no, the Shovel Knight's very old and was a very good game. I don't need a DX version at all.
Yeah, I mean, being able to play it on God, that came out a decade ago, didn't it? Jesus Christ.
And it's already on every platform, though.
It's already on everything, yeah.
Being able to play as the other knights is cool. The fact that they put in goofy shit like Mona from the Plague Knight campaign is cool.
Right.
I'm not really sure what this feels like it should be an update at most DLC you buy for that.
Okay,
Are you expecting people to hand you $40 for this?
There is no planned release date announced. And all of the pages underneath it, outside of the one for Steam, let me go. Actually, no, I had to Google that. Don't point at the new version. They point at the originals on all of those platforms. Those discounts they announced were just for the original.
Right.
The funniest part of all this is there, like with many publishers on Steam, there's a thing that appears above the, planned release date to be announced, add to your wish list, that says, check out the entire Yacht Club Games franchise on Steam. Do you just mean Shovel Knight? Because it's just Shovel Knight. This company is just Shovel Knight. Because Mina the Hollower still doesn't have a date.
Yeah, they showed up in this event to be like, Mina the Hollower's still coming, with nothing else to say.
This sale also applies to Cyber Shadow because that was published by Yacht Club. There you go. Yeah, this is confusing, frustrating, and unasked for.
Yeah. They also
Because
did a ton of merchandise.
They pitched it as the definitive version. They're like, there's no lost content. I'm like, so, but it doesn't have Kratos or the Battletoads.
Right. It's like
It might have Battletoads. I think on PC they eventually put in Battletoads.
But will this version that's coming out have that when they're making it for everything?
Maybe.
Probably.
I mean, on PC it probably will, and on Xbox it probably will, and maybe Sony will have Kratos.
It's not a definitive version then if it doesn't have, like, because they literally say throughout it's got everything that's ever been in Shovel Knight, like the online shit.
right, and a lot of it seems like some of it was the stuff that was locked to amiibos before, which again, all this should be an update. What are you doing?
Yeah, this is real crazy. And then they ended with
They need some money, Bob.
They ended with a real strong thing, right, Bob?
They ended with a teaser saying they're basically teasing a 3D Shovel Knight.
They made a 3D version of their studio logo, and then they're like, we're making the next dimensional game of
You should
Shovel
have made
Knight.
Shovel Knight X first. No, that roguelike, inexplicable roguelike doesn't count.
Yeah, that's what we did though.
So anyways, if you're in, God, what city in California was that fucking cafe
I think it
thing?
was to San Francisco. I think.
I don't think it was San Francisco. I'm trying to remember. Anyways, they announced like, oh, we're doing a Shovel Knight dinner thing at this cafe, so be excited. And I'm like, this is surreal. I know someone in our comment section said it was like if the Anaheim, there we go. It's like if the fucking Volvi shit was genuine and about a real IP.
It was a lot like that.
But hey, in their defense, I believe it was their marketing director whose last name was Schilling. And that was very funny for this exact conference they made. Where it's just product. None of these are games. Product. Mm-hmm. Oh, well. Hey, Bob.
Hey,
Keep going.
Boston Kaiso's 1 and 2 HD remaster just showed up on PC. It's out.
Cool.
You can go download those.
Great. Was something wrong with the other versions of that?
I don't remember.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think they were kind of low effort because that's the Bamco. That's the Bamco move.
Yeah,
Right.
these things often just have the weird, like, oh, this is capped at 30 because this one edition of thing happened, and that's what I'm always afraid
man,
of.
I will never not be salty that they're like, yes, Tales of Symphonia like defined the franchise, gave the franchise a presence in the West, one of the best selling. We just make the shittiest fucking version of it. Who gives a shit?
Who gives
it's
a
actually worse
shit?
than the PS3 version.
Uh-huh.
I'm seeing Matto in chat saying the remasters have fully redone models. It's not just a bad retexture like Tales of Symphonia. Okay, good.
Yeah, the only thing I have heard is it does not have the English dub, but has apparently that was horribly recorded.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, it sounds. They still should have given it to us. Just
Right,
turn it off by
one.
default if you want.
Yes.
Yeah.
It literally sounds like a yak back.
Yeah, but yeah,
The audio quality is unreal levels of bad, and that's honestly really cool.
I know. I'm like, no, Discotech would put it on there.
They would. They would play the really
That's the
catchy
guideline.
theme song. That's
Ask yourself, would Discotech have included this?
No, that's true.
Yes, absolutely.
You should have a picture of Discotech on your wall and treat them like they're your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Just look at the picture and be like, would Discotech do this?
They would find the tape reel on the literal floor, re-ring it up, and get it working.
They'd be like, it still has the illusion of movement. Ship it. Oh man. Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, we got more info on Lollipop Chainsaw Repop. That comes out this year, September 25th. It's going to be on PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC.
Does this qualify for Game of the Year?
Yeah.
Can I?
I guess. I don't see why it
I mean,
wouldn't.
No More Heroes 3 did.
Right? I
So-
don't see any reason it wouldn't.
Okay. So what do we got?
It's going to have better load times, improved combat. They're adding a repop mode, which apparently cuts down the violence and replaces stuff with more artistic visuals.
Okay.
Like, energy flares and stuff. And 30 costumes.
Dope.
And then if you want to see an actual decent trailer for it, that showed up in the limited run game direct for some reason. Instead, they put out a terrible trailer for it
Good job, guys.
before that. But yeah, it looks neat. I'm excited to see what they do with this game. Almost all the changes to combat were like, oh, thank God. Well, I was like, we changed
it really did not have good combat initially.
No, and all of them are written like, we changed this to line up more with player expectation.
Of a good game.
Yes. Like
That's a fucking fast food place that got shut down for foodborne illnesses.
right?
We changed it to match consumer expectations of not getting violently ill.
Iga did his like the 5th anniversary of Bloodstain launching stream. There was like a celebration of all the stuff they'd done since. And at the end of it, it's like, yes, we are working on something. We still can't say anything, but things are in place. So
I really liked when he talked about Curry the Kid coming back to be the director. And he's just like, I asked him to be the designer and director again. And then that guy starts talking. He's like, yeah, I couldn't remember. I was sitting there going, how do I design a video game? And I had to replay all my games and take notes. And I'm like, yeah, Bloodstain is very obviously the fucking end result of someone playing all of those and going, plus, minus.
yeah,
Feels good, man.
it does. And then they even took it over and like had a segment where they talked to each person, other people who worked on it. So like, Way Forward's guy is basically like, yeah, they basically made all of Classic 2 themselves.
Uh-huh.
So that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's dope. I'm really excited to try the Classic 2 storyline. It's like $10 DLC, which is like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. Easily. That's one of my favorite games ever. And the original Classic mode's really good, despite
It is.
my expectations for that were much lower. And
Yeah,
this
mine
is
were
like,
rock bottom.
These are like huge scope and everything with this. It's trying to be a Castlevania 2, just a full scale.
Right, and has a brand new playable character and is allegedly continuing the story from the main game.
Which is nuts.
Yeah.
So yeah, very exciting. So hopefully Bloodstain 2,
Yeah. Please.
not Curse of the Moon 2, Bloodstain 2.
It's been 5 years. 5 years. It's a long time.
The Shovel Knight and Bloodstain have one thing in common, and I absolutely hate it.
I
Did you
actually bothered playing them as a spin-off to Bloodstain, though.
I checked out the spin-off to Shovel Knight, the Dig, but I checked it out on phones, and that wasn't as compelling.
I played it on PC, and it's like wow, I sure wish this was a normal Shovel Knight game.
Yeah.
It has all the same components as one. I don't understand why you decided to make a roguelike with the pieces of a real game.
There was also a part of that anniversary video where Ego was like, talking about how extreme he went with the goals.
Yeah, the goals.
He was like, yeah, went a bit far with that.
Yeah. And it really shows because they only finished those goals this year.
I'm going to go ahead and say that's Ben Judd's fault.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because, reminder, Ben Judd was involved in this Kickstarter and also the Mighty Number 9 one and also the Red Ash one and also one other one. And I can't remember what the other one would be.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, yeah. He sure does get Japanese developers to make Kickstarters for their games so they can prove that people want them and then let them make billions of stretch goals that are really bad long term.
Yep.
Like the online battle race mode for Mighty Number 9.
And for Bloodstained.
How did that happen? I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, my last piece of news is really small. Pepper Grinder is coming to other platforms. It's currently only on Switch and PC, but it's coming to PlayStation and Xbox.
Cool.
August 6th.
And that only came out not even that long ago.
Yeah, that was like February or something.
Something like that. And it looked really good.
Yeah.
Cool. So if you have a PC platform of choice to play video games, you can now get access to that. Because that was a Switch and PC, right?
Yes.
So there you go. I just saw the top bit of news from Chris's.
Get our guests ready.
Yeah.
Okay, where you at, buddy? Where you at? Yeah, come on in. Don't worry. You can just. Okay.
Don't be too distracted by the anime girl.
And that's the only thing keeping him with us.
Yes.
He's locking eyes with her.
There's actually sadly another thing I didn't even put in the news.
God damn it, man.
Embracer shuts down Pieces Entertainment development, developer of Alone in the Dark reboot. One, I don't know why game journalists apparently just decided that game was ontologically evil, because every single piece of footage I saw and everybody I saw play it was like, yeah, seems fine. I don't know why it got pounded in reviews as hard as it did.
Me neither.
Yeah, that seemed insane. Playing that honestly felt crazy.
It felt surreal to play that video game because you know what we play. What was it? Chris said it off content, but he was like, "You guys play games that potentially don't exist or did not
Yeah,
exist."
I said that their entire gimmick is playing games people are aware of, but it seems like nobody has ever actually played.
Yes, and then I said we are the liminal spaces of game streamers. So it was surreal then to play this perfectly fine game and be like, everyone fucking hates it. And I'm like,
And also,
why?
I think it was 70. It shouldn't have been 70.
I don't think it was.
No,
I think that was 60. Yeah.
Not even sure if that was a correct decision. It should have been 50 because it was up against Resident Evil.
I feel like these... I mean, it came out a year after Resident Evil 4, thank God. If it came out right next to Resident Evil 4, that would have been a problem. Yeah, I don't know what's up with it. I don't get it at all. I thought it was fine and good, and I've been wanting to do another fucking playthrough because that was neat as fuck. Did you know you could just make a game in a genre and that's fine and you don't deserve to die? You can also exist?
So I believe this is their first game too.
Yes!
And it's like,
Yeah.
man, the Sean Ledger is right. You don't even get one chance.
Infuriated. God.
And Paradox Entertainment, roughly a year ago, they announced a Sims competitor called Life by You.
Oh,
I think we watched the trailer for
that
this.
sounds familiar.
Is being developed. It was the head of the studio and the head of the project was Rod Humble, who worked on The Sims and Second Life. It was an internal studio called Paradox Tectonic. They canceled it, I think, 6 days ago. It was going to go into early access on June 4th. Then it was like, guys, we need a little bit more time. Then it was, guys, we're canceling the game. Then it was, guys, the studio is shut down.
Oh, come on.
I need to know the story behind that.
We didn't even get a chance.
No.
Their explanation was like, it's not coming together in the way we want it to, which I guess seems like it was just in development hell and bad.
Very possible.
Yeah, that genre's not easy to ship.
No.
God.
I want somebody, because I cannot bring myself to do this. It would kill me. Somebody go back and listen to every single episode of Big Think Dimension this year and tell us if there's even 1 week, we don't have to talk about layoffs or studio closure.
I don't think there is, because even last week I was like, it still happened in the middle of E3. Like they couldn't stop for 1 week.
No.
They couldn't even put it off for a week.
Yeah.
Everyone is saying it hasn't happened. Yeah.
But that Xbox show was incredible, bro.
Oh my god.
When Phil Spencer came out with a little bit of blood on his shoes, but it's okay. It was pretty based when he was like, yes, Ryan McCaffrey, Hexen is a lot like Doom. Bye.
God, that's so fucking embarrassing.
Yeah. Once again, that interview would have been viewed a lot better if Ryan McCaffrey had a shirt that says blowjobs are real jobs on it.
Yes.
I think that would have really elevated the tone of the interview between him and Phil Spencer if he had that shirt.
God, that was the most fake feeling interview maybe I've ever seen.
It's funny, too, because the way, if you recall, the way he propped it up months ago was he's like, I'm going to ask him the hard questions.
What an asshole.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah. Anyway. Ugh.
Yeah.
This fucking industry.
What happened this week where I think that the studio had a blue point. It's like, yeah, we're still working on an original thing.
It takes time. Yeah.
Which I was like, good. I would like them to make an original thing. I think their tier of remaster is perhaps too high now.
Yeah.
There isn't a whole lot of things that I would want them to even consider looking at.
Mhm.
Like, what are they gonna Are they gonna make a remake of Uncharted 1?
No.
That'd be fucking stupid.
I mean, obviously, they're going to do a PS5 fidelity remake of Ape Escape.
God, that'd look really uncanny, probably.
Yeah, like
fucking
I
whip
feel like there's no
ass.
way that they would understand what anime is.
I
Like
know.
they don't.
I need
somehow it would end up looking like just fake.
I need it in my veins.
It's
It's like, wow, I didn't realize Spike was missing teeth definition.
ugh.
Can't wait to see Blue Point's intelligent cube. Let's fucking go.
Oh, that would whip so much ass. They're like $70, but it comes with all the levels from the special edition and the sequel. And I'm like, hell yeah. You know what? Sure. I want to see the most gorgeous PS5 Pro game. It's a puzzle game that takes place on a fucking 200 square foot area.
Yeah, right. It's like there's no way. There's nothing on earth you could do to make Intelligence Cube a $70 game.
You
It's
can
literally
put
impossible.
a price label on it that says $70
That's
and put it in a store for it to live out the rest of its lonely life.
I mean, that's what they did with Returnal. So
yeah,
you know they're not
Yeah.
above it.
no. But that's it for our normal news. We've got a lot of other news to cover.
Yes, we do.
How do other people feel? Should we cover the limited run thing first, or the Nintendo
Yes,
Direct?
we should.
Okay.
We should end on the strong thing and not end on the thing that lets people pull the ripcord and escape before we do.
Okay. You know what? That's fair. So Limited Run Games Expo. I did not watch it, but I am reading these notes. If you would like to add more details after I read the note, then that works for me.
Sure.
Fighting Force. What's up?
The thing with all of these is it's very hard to tell in this entire presentation if what they are talking about is a brand new announcement or the announcement they are doing a physical game. So I've tried to narrow this down to brand new, actually new announcements of video games. If the one slips through, I'm sorry.
Well, we appreciate you trying, Bob. 1 second. I feel like I don't have the right face on for this. Let me
No!
just. There we go.
No! It's so horrible!
It's so great. I've literally made this dude in Tony Hawk so many times. It's killing me.
Yeah, I feel like we need to figure out how this was made and like get one made that's actually of Dan that like uses photographs of Dan to make it.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, it is.
There we go. Perfect. Anyway, let's get to the news. Fighting Force Collection coming 2025 for PS4, 5, Switch, and Steam. What is this?
It's a collection of Fighting Force games.
Fuck you. That can't be true. The Fighting Force game, like the PS1 beat 'em up.
Yeah. I don't know why it's called a collection. I think it's one game. Maybe it's two. I don't know.
I
It was super
swear
unclear.
they made it too, but that was such an insane concept to me. I did not believe it. All right. Cosmic Fantasy Collection 2 coming this year for Switch. What's Cosmic Fantasy?
I couldn't tell either. They even left the logo in Japanese. But it's something you can get.
Oh, it's wait, seriously? This is an RPG franchise from the PC Engine.
Okay.
It looks it.
Apparently, it's
Oh,
one of those
these.
ones that's like, yeah, we're made by like a pervert studio with like 20 people.
Hell yeah.
Those are the best ones.
Yeah,
God's
I'm
strongest
actually-
warriors.
I'm actually pretty hyped about this.
Yeah, no, that actually sounds great. Snow Bros Wonderland coming 2024 for PS4, 5, and Switch.
This is another game I'd never heard of before, but you play
Snow
as like a
Bros?
snowman.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know you didn't know Snowman or Snow Bros.
Yeah. This is a new one, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, this is a brand new one. It's not a collection.
Gimmick 2.
That's insane.
Coming this year for Steam, Switch, PS4, PS5, and Xbox. I have not watched this trailer. I am tempted to
There
watch
is no
it.
trailer. It's a title card.
Death.
Yeah. For a
Death.
game that's coming out this year, what
You announced a sequel to an absolute fucking classic, and you just went, I don't need to prove myself. What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you fucking kidding me right now? It's like if
Get
Square
real.
died and you announced Chrono Trigger 2. What is wrong with you? You don't just get to say 2 and say that's an announcement. Fuck, dude. Okay. Fuck them. What the fuck? Anyways, it's coming this year. Somehow. Despite no gameplay footage.
I wonder if it's going to look like Euphoria.
Steam, Switch, PS4, 5, and Xbox. Euphoria 2?
Yeah, Euphoria 2.
Hebereke 2? Yes. Probably, you would think. But who knows? Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition out 5 days from now.
Yeah, no, that's really close. It's really close.
Oh, fuck you. I hate reading this. 4K 60 frames per second. And there's a quote that says there will also be an exclusive new mission revealing a narrative link to Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Finally.
Sure.
Oh my god.
That's weird. This is just a graveyard that I have to stand in until my character starves to death.
Like, wow, it's such a brave choice that they made this canon to Deep Down.
I think this is glorious. I'm very excited for it to release and be the final game Ubisoft makes.
Oh my god.
There's no way it's actually coming out. There's not a fucking chance.
Hey Bob, if we play that collection, that means it comes out, right? That's the GigaBoots magic.
Oh my god, yeah,
Like,
we
if
gotta
we just
play that,
played the
man. It comes out in
anniversary
5 days. Let's do
Oh,
it.
man.
I've never played the game. I'm a huge fan.
Very excited
Okay,
for
now
next Friday.
we're gonna have to power scale, and I might play it to counteract.
Oh, no! That's coming out. Reminder, 5 days from now on PS4, 5, Xbox One and Series, Switch, and PC. Fear Effect re-release is coming 2025 for PS4, 5, Switch, and Steam. Oh, cool. We can finally be horny.
It's now permitted.
I think the sequel was the more horny one.
I just remember the magazine ads and being like,
Yeah,
You
but I
don't
think the
impress
sequel was
me.
the one that had like the more boobs.
Yeah, the two ladies.
the ladies come with 3 boobs now? How do they have more boobs? Oh, Double Shake is coming out 2025 for PS4, 5, Switch, and Steam. Reminder, that is the Mischief Makers like.
Game still looks really cool. They showed a new trailer. Very excited.
Pretty sure I still have the GIF. One moment. Because, people may not know. They might be like, do I care about Double Shake? And I don't know. You tell me. Do you care about Double Shake? Maybe you care. Do you like Mischief Makers? You might like Mischief Makers.
You might have other reasons.
Like liking Mischief Makers?
Yeah.
Anyways, that is next year on PS4, 5, Switch, and Steam. Weird, Xbox is missing. Gex Trilogy pre-orders open in fall. Why are they...
Because this is insane.
Yeah, I'm sure people are going to be beating down the fucking door on this.
It's a pre-order.
Yeah.
The Gex Trilogy. Do we have to do it again?
No.
Okay.
We really don't. When they do a new one, of
Absolutely not.
course.
So what's with this John Wick and Blade Runner reference? Is that just in the
Those
trailer?
are in the trailer, yeah.
I-
Because the trailer is just the guy talking,
Of
which I
course.
think it's
I'm
the original
surpri-
guy.
Yeah, they got
so-
him back for the very... I'm genuinely like, did you re-record the voice lines? Like, is there going to be new Gex quips?
That would be so funny. They
Like,
should.
it seems...
I'd
it
buy it
seems
frame
insane-
one if they did a mode.
Right.
That was just that.
It seems insane to, like, keep bringing him back for promotional material and not re-record those old busted lines. At bare minimum, just re-redo them.
I feel like they're doing all this and they have to be working on a new one.
Oh,
Like-
yeah.
Like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what they actually have him in the studio for.
100%.
And I think that the mixer of having Blade Runner references and John Wick references is the exact level of out of touch that Gex should be. Just like not on the mark at all.
This PS4, Xbox Series, Switch, and Steam. Get excited. I guess I should make this Double Shake GIF disappear one moment. Okay. But me? No. I am eternal. Shantae Advance finally coming out in 2025 to consoles and PC. Why?
2025.
Is it taking?
I don't know.
Even the Game Boy Advance games take forever to make nowadays. There has never been a stronger argument for computers have become too cumbersome to make the fucking thing.
Yeah.
I don't understand, but I'm excited.
Yeah.
How was this partially done and it's still taking this long?
I don't know, man.
Did their bullshit version already come out?
You're thinking of a different one that came out that had a Game Boy Advance mode. This is a canceled Shantae that was being made for the Game Boy.
Wasn't their whole thing like we're releasing it as a physical thing for the Game Boy first, and then later it will come to real things?
I don't think they've done either yet of that. Clock Tower Rewind is out fall 2024 for PS4, 5, Switch, Xbox, and Steam.
Neat.
All right.
Clock Tower's
Finally.
cool. Thank you.
Yeah, can't wait to finally play it.
Also, someone in chat is saying, you're right, Chris, and apparently the physical cart comes out in the fall. So really, there's just a time exclusivity on buying a cart from Limited Run Games.
God. Ugh.
The future sucks. Tomba special edition out August 1st.
Awesome.
Tomba 2? Announced for the PS5, PS4, Switch, and Steam.
This was the big show closer here.
And Bubsy the Perfect Collection is announced for the PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, and Steam. Does it have 3D?
It was unclear. Like most of the stuff in this they announced, they didn't give any details. So I have no idea what's in it.
Hey, remember when they announced Dracula X fucking Rondo of Blood for the TurboGrafx 16 for North American release?
Uh-huh.
Years ago?
Yeah.
How
And
many
now-
years has it been? 3? 4? Does the CDR burner just not work
Yeah,
for the TurboGrafx?
I was going to say, we're going to find out that when it does come out at the CDR. Like, we now know that.
They better have their shit together enough for that not to happen.
God, this was the worst put together show I've seen in so long.
Really?
Like, so much of this stuff is like, I had to go look up on the website to figure out anything about it. Because they didn't want to say anything. They couldn't actually say anything about any game in this event. It was terrible. It's like, give me any information. What's it launching on?
No.
When's it coming out? Is this something
No.
new that we're talking about? Or is this something that a physical edition that's coming out?
Look, Bob,
anything.
That information isn't important. Did it make you raffle, though? Did the Limited Run Games Expo make you lull?
No.
You didn't become a raffle copter?
They don't even feel like they're trying to be that funny anymore.
Oh.
It comes off as super pathetic. It's just like, yeah, we pretend we're at E3 and we had audience sound effects. It's like,
Oh, my God.
wow, guys.
Okay, well. The Nintendo Direct also happened.
What? Really?
We've already talked about some of this, but we're going to bust through it again. Anyway, Mario and Luigi Brothership is out November 7th. Yo, they made a new Mario and Luigi.
Yeah, Jesus.
That title fucking rules.
I can't believe they did it. It's not a remake. It's a new game.
I'm so happy. I am so happy. And I'm also so happy we never played Mario and Luigi Bowser's Big Hole because people started posting plot related extra moments with tags
Okay.
in the fan Discord involving hoses.
No,
And
not okay.
So yeah, anyway, I'm glad I could just jump straight to this. Fairy Tail 2 out this winter. It's for PS4, 5, and PC.
It just makes me think of, instead of Naruto Shippuden, it was just Naruto 2.
That would be great. They should have done it.
Hilarious.
No, Bob. Let me explain. This isn't. I don't think this is covering any of the sequel Fairy Tail shit. This is the last arc of Fairy Tail, the original Fairy Tail.
Okay.
And they called it 2?
Yeah, because the previous game, Fairy Tail 1, ends before this arc.
But they didn't call the anime 2.
No.
Okay.
No,
That's the
the
impression.
actual sequel to Fairy Tail is called Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Fantasian finally escapes phones with Fantasian Neo Dimension out this holiday, published by Square Enix.
That's so good. Thank God.
Oh yeah.
This is the Hironobu Sakaguchi phone game that is a turn-based RPG where the backgrounds are physical dioramas taken images of in extremely high resolution and touched up with CG and stuff in order to make it look damn neat. PS5 for Series and PC.
They're adding a new lower difficulty mode to this and calling that normal.
Yes.
As they are right to do.
And they're also adding voice acting, and it sounds like higher res images. So, oh my god, real cool.
Basketball got added to Nintendo Switch Sports. It's coming out in the summer. That game's good. Yeah. Handsome Joe texted me, basketball? ? And I said, yes.
Yes.
We need to play it in the game. And then when I don't win, out on the courts. The weekly beatings going on location.
Finally.
Mio.
We need to find the hottest day of summer.
Oh my God. For some reason, we both put pomade in our hair. So it's just like running down our faces and it's terrible, even though it's hot as fucking shit. Mio Memories in Orbit is coming 2025. It's PS4, PS5, Xboxes, and PC. This looks really neat.
Yeah. It was like a weird Metroidvania where you played as a robot with tentacles.
Pharmagia? Pharmagia?
I don't care. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was Pharmagia.
Whereas I was doing the soft G. I was like, Pharmagia. What pasta do you want? Out November 1st. That's the Fairy Tale Artist farming game that is also an RPG. It is out on Switch, PS5, and PC.
Fairy Tale 3?
Maybe someday. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD is out January 16th. It includes all the 3DS levels. Weirdly enough, Bob.
Yeah.
Forever Entertainment is involved?
Aww.
Right?
Ugh.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is.
That's real weird. That's the publisher in-betweener that handled the Panzer Dragoon remake.
Right.
Among Front Mission and others.
Every bad remake you can think of, they were there.
Yeah. So,
Really?
So this is interesting, and I'm wondering how... Like, Nintendo wouldn't just let them ship a bad thing.
No, I don't think.
That's not really their thing.
Nintendo really can fix you.
Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake out November 14th. Dragon Quest 1, 2 HD 2D. This is quite the parallels we have here. One comes in HD, one comes in 2D. Remake coming next year. They're all coming to everything. Xbox Series, PS5, and PC.
And of course, Switch.
And of course, Switch. If you hear me talk about a game during this, it is coming to the Nintendo Switch.
Right, obviously. Because it's the Nintendo Direct, in case you forgot. Those games look really good.
Oh, they look damn good. And they've seemingly got new shit in 3. So that's exciting. We already talked about Perfect Dark came to the Nintendo Switch Online Plus. The Turok also came to the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack, as they call it. Perfect Dark has online multiplayer.
Please don't play Turok that way.
There's a much better way to play Turok now.
That's true. Handled by by Discotech.
Yes. Just give Night Dive the money, please.
Yeah, I have heard multiple people say, yeah, everybody thought Turok was bad until Night Dive made it a version that you can play.
Phantom Brave.
Yeah, look at her.
The Lost
doesn't
Hero.
sound
I'm
real.
stunned. I thought this was a remake of the original at first. Even with the subtitle, I thought that was just like, well, they're just differentiating it because I think they did like a weird HD port of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yeah, that's out next year. It's confirmed for PS4, PS5, and PC as well. I've never won more. Thank God.
At one point, I was in possession of 3 copies of this game.
Yeah, and then it lessened as I took one of them.
Yes.
And now you know why this is the Nipponichi software game I own. Bob somehow came across many copies.
I didn't check the price. I wonder if that thing is actually really valuable or anything.
I'm checking it now. Bob, shoot a number. Chris and Agro also shoot a number.
$60.
45.
213.
It is 18. even as low as 10.
Yeah.
Many are 20-ish.
Yeah.
It has like a modern version that tends to knock the price down on something.
Right.
And that's why back compat's important. God damn it. Not everything needs to be the situation I had with the fucking 50-cent game where it cost more than a new video game.
Right.
I'm very excited. I'm very happy.
Yeah, they don't. There hasn't been a game like Phantom Brave since Makai Kingdom, which was only like a year after Phantom Brave.
Right. So, in both cases, nearly 20 years. So,
Yeah.
literally 20 years.
Yeah, it's a very specific kind of tactics games. It's like nothing else. Please, thank you for bringing it back.
Yeah, seriously. I love Phantom Brave so much.
It also has a weird the tone of Phantom Brave is different from anything else Nipponichi like is known for. Like it's a lot more like sort of cutesy and
Earnest
and down to earth, and not like it still has comedy, but it doesn't.
Right.
It feels really different.
You know, it's like when you watch Moe anime and it has comedy, as opposed to a
it's a
gag
little- it's like-
comedy.
Yeah.
anime.
It's like even more whimsical than like La Pusille was.
Yeah. Because Pucelle was a little bit more on that side of stuff, but it definitely goes even farther.
You said whimsy, so my brain went, where does it rank among the Pokemon movies? Where would we put this one at? If we ever do a spoiler cast for this, we have to answer the whimsy meter.
Yes, obviously.
Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. You could have chopped off words.
You could have, but they did not. They were too brave.
Announced for this year. It includes X-Men Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and The Punisher.
Yeah, the Punisher.
That's Marvel, baby. It's on Switch, but it's also coming to PS4 and PC. It's going to have rollback netcode. Hell yeah.
And you can actually go to their website, and it has all of the old artwork they made for that in super high res for every one of these games. It's really cool.
It's real good. Man, this was a stacked direct.
It was.
Oh my God.
They kept going, man. Because even this announcement, the Marvel vs. Capcom thing, blew people's minds.
Right. Yeah. It's important to get good vibes associated with your brand. A fun fact for everyone who thinks it's stupid to secure exclusive announcements for your direct. No, that's how Coke functions. You know why Coke is the dominant brand? Because they associated themselves with having fun. So anyway. Learn marketing! Anyway, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, seemingly a sequel to Wand of Gamelon because there's a wand.
Yes, that's all you need.
I was really when aggro was like, a wand, huh?
Yep, that was. There were a couple of scary points in that trailer before it all shook out.
You play as Zelda.
The first time, man.
It's happened.
It's
This was impressive.
It's styled kind of like the Link's Awakening remake. Zelda gets to use this wand to copy items, enemies, and maybe Link. We'll have to get to the end of the game, see if she can copy Link and save as. It's looking good. Does it appear to use the same overworld as Link to the Past?
That is what people are saying. They like you can see shit from Link to the Past in like where it would be fittingly based on where she is in screenshots from that trailer. So it appears to use the same overworld as the Link to the Past again.
That'd be really sad.
But I think there were also, they showed unique areas. So, like, I don't know. It definitely appears to be a remix of that again, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm buying this as the Link to the Past overworld map.
All I know is I saw a long thread by a Japanese account, like, showing maps and like, perspective things. Like, she's here, you can see out into the distance in that direction, and that matches up to this exact cave that's in Link to the Past. And stuff like that.
I love that I just looked up the title of this game, and so many hyped white YouTubers have edited themselves over the same image of this game, where it's just them edited out of their stream setup or whatever going, and then it's just the shot of the cliff and the background. And it makes me feel vindicated for using a different image to edit my white ass on top of it. I was like, oh, I'm going to see this 10 million times. We need to use any image but this one. Anyway, that looks hype as fucking shit. Super Mario Party Jamboree. It's Mario Party, but it has a mode that's up to 20 players. It feels a bit Fall Guys coded, where it's just like conveyor belt going, keep moving past obstacles, do not die to Bowser. I was like, yo, dope. I'm excited for them to make another Mario Party. I think they're very smart to do this. Nintendo, one of the only companies that are like, you like game, would you like it 3 times during a generation? And we tried most of the times. Look, that first one.
No, yeah, of course.
The first one's a little rough. They didn't even know online was it a good idea. Anyway, they showed the Nintendo World Championships NES edition. They showed it again. That's out really soon, isn't it?
I think.
One sec. Yeah. That is out. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Google Summary. You have saved my life on this day. July 18th. It's got cool stuff with the physical version, and, the digital version is much cheaper. Lego Horizons. Lego Horizon.
God, fuck off.
I don't know which of the other 20 people who really liked Horizon found that monkey's paw, but fuck you. You have fucked the rest of us.
Lego Horizon. Tales of the Shire. You get to live a peaceful life as a hobbit. Wow. I feel like I nailed the wow. I don't know. I'm also seeing a bullet under this that just says 3 copies sold.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you thought that like the cozy crafting survival shit would translate to being a short racist British person.
Yeah, you can't brand your way into that space. That is an indie space. Also, like, oh yeah, and your neighbors, and there's like one random dwarf sitting at the table. I'm like, bro, I don't think you understand how old school racist hobbits are.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you mean to hang out with your neighbors? You know that pretty much every part of the Hobbit and parts in the Shire and Lord of the Rings are. I fucking hate all these people. Fuck them. They're all pieces of shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, that's the text.
Man, that's rough.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure is a timed Switch exclusive.
My god.
I'm glad it's a timed Switch exclusive. I'm not playing that. That looked like it was running bad.
It did.
There's a bullet under. I just have to read the bullets. I don't get to choose what's in them. I get to read them. It says Butters is so happy. I'm happy for Butters.
Because way back 45 years ago in the South Park episode Make Love Not Warcraft about World of Warcraft, the online game Butters plays that everybody yells at him for playing is Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Oh my god. All right.
I need to see when Luigi's Mansion 2 HD comes out.
It's real close, man.
Yeah, I know. Oh, God. That is also next week. Oh, no, Bob. We have to choose between Luigi's Mansion 2 and Beyond Good and Evil. But if Chris gets to Beyond Good and Evil first, it'll die, and we'll never get the sequel.
Don't worry. You'll get to Beyond Good and Evil first.
Yeah, I mean, we delayed Luigi so long. Why not just keep doing it? We've got to strike while the iron's hot for...
Bob's like, maybe forever, actually. Maybe that's our funniest bit is we never streamed Luigi's Mansion 2. Yeah, that's next week. That Disney Illusion game that's made by the Battletoads people, it got an update. It's got new stuff in it.
Neat.
Funko Fusion's a game that should be like Fusion Frenzies, but is weirdly enough a third-person shooter with branded characters as represented by Funkos doing third-person shooting like Scott Pilgrim and others.
Looks like it's running on an N gauge.
Yeah,
that's how a lot of these games look.
It looks like the bad PS3 port of a 360 game that happened 15 years ago.
It looks like a PS2 port of a 360 game.
I'm reading this text now, and it says Funko Fusion traps Dan and Bob in a horrifying reality where they have to flop swap it and Lego Horizon.
Ah,
That's a funny stream
Luckily,
idea. I think
luckily,
that's good.
luckily, the timer will be dead by then, so it'll be safe and won't instantly get you back to 400 hours.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be perfectly fine. We'll be safe, actually.
So horrible. We're gonna be like, yeah, Lego Horizon's 100 hours long.
Metal Slug Attack Reloaded is a tower defense game, seemingly. Aggro, do you have any opinions on 2D games that say they're tower defense games?
Yeah, you should stop calling these games tower defense games and find a new way to describe it.
You know what's my version of that? I watch Mystic Ryan, who runs Let's Talk PlayStation, a sane PlayStation news podcast that updates once a week. I guess it's a podcast, really it's a video. Anyways, he keeps calling games that aren't VR, okay? Games that aren't VR 2D games, because he needs a way to say they are non-VR games. And since the game renders onto his screen two-dimensionally, he keeps calling those 2D games, and I lose it every time he does it. And at this point, I'm convinced it's a bit. I think he's driving engagement. When he calls, what was it? Recently, it was like, oh yeah, he calls Astrobot a 2D game because it's not VR.
Oh, no.
Chris, do you have any opinions on Metal Slug Attack Reloaded?
Wow, I love shit that isn't what I fucking want. I love Mercenary King so much. That game by the really great sprite artist that worked on the Scott Pilgrim game. It's like Metal Slug. It's like actually it's Monster Hunter, and I'm like, wow, why?
Right?
Yeah, why is really what I
They better have a real Metal Slug in the works with all these projects.
I sure fucking hope so. It's like we can monetize making the assets in all these different games.
Darkest Dungeon 2 is coming to the Switch on July 15th. Looney Tunes World of Sports has $3 is what's written.
Yeah, I had to work during that Nintendo Direct, but I would have been there with you, Dan, because I played the shit out of Looney Tunes basketball.
Thank
on
you!
I think I played it on Sega Genesis because my friend that had it had the Sega Genesis, and I made them very mad because there's a certain distance where if you give the ball to Wile E. Coyote, he will shoot himself in a rock with like a bottle rocket, hit the backboard, and go through the hoop. And there is no brain power to it whatsoever. You will always score if you just throw the ball. If you just throw the ball to Wile E. Coyote and do that, and he would get so much like, stop doing that. And I'm like, sorry, like, don't hate the player, hate the game.
Looney Tunes B-Ball is really cool. It's really great. I'm terrified to ever play it again because that was one of those games that I also played so little and loved so much, like Claymates, that I'm a little worried. Stray is coming to Switch this winter. My God, my baby. What did they do to her? She's so low res.
But she fit on the Switch.
It's just like when you see a cute cat and you want to squish it. You just squish it down and just keep squishing.
And then it'll fit on the Switch. I really love Stray. That was a great experience. I'm glad it's coming to the Switch. Oh, do I really? Do I? Among Us has new roles.
All right.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
Just
I've never
Dance
played Among Us.
Wait, what? Yeah, no, I don't.
I've
think
never
any of
played
those-
Among Us, so I have no fucking idea.
Right? Like
Yeah.
I've seen videos of it being played. I need to play it one day.
I'm like, have I just seen enough videos where I imagined playing it, or did I actually play it? I have to like think. I don't know. But Just Dance 25 hits in October. Oh, thank God. I'm really glad I get to compare a VR game that's afraid to see me shirtless in a mirror with Just Dance 25 to see what's the best dance alone so no one can see you do it. Do you think we'll see this again at the Olympics? Like the esports
God, I
Olympics,
don't
we'll do
think
Just
so.
Dance 25. They're like, nah, we're doing that VR dancing one. And I'm like, awesome. It's the part I was born to play, baby. I show up shirtless. They're like, what the fuck? Ace Attorney Investigations Collections. Is that really Investigation Collections? It's plural for collection?
No, it's probably Ace Attorney
Okay.
Investigation Collections.
God,
Investigations Collection.
Okay. I hope. September 6th.
Because the game is composed of multiple investigations.
It's true.
Yeah, I always
that's
wanted
exciting.
to play these, but DS,
Right.
and one I'd have to use a fan patch on.
Uh-huh.
But mostly DS.
And they came here really late, didn't they? Like the first
second one never came at all.
Right.
I think the first one came pretty close after it came out. It was just a late DS game already.
Mm-hmm. The 100 Line Defense Academy announced. It's a new game made by the Danganronpa creator and the Zero Escape creator. So that's right.
Yes,
Kazutaka
Kodaka and
and
Kotaro Uchikoshi.
Yes, those. That's pretty dope.
It is 2Q's first game. They went into debt to make it. Everybody clapped their hands over their cheeks. And I'm like, guys, that's how game studios used to work back when we had independent game studios and giant publishers didn't own everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You had to spend money to make your game and you prayed to God you made it back. This has Media Vision working on it. The developers of Wild Arms and Valkyria Chronicles.
Weird.
Huh.
It's going to have over 100 endings, but there's only 16 characters. So like I said, I assume there's like 16-ish real endings that work in visual novel way, and they change slightly based on the characters that lived.
So this being, Uchikoshi, I'm interested.
Okay.
So this might, I think this is going to be my first Kodaka game. I don't think I've played.
They talk about how they've shared a bed before and may actually have a child because of that.
That's how that works, I guess.
I'm really excited for this. Did they announce any date, or is it just like it's happening?
No, it's
Look out,
it's
fuckers.
just next year. It's next year.
Okay,
I think
great.
They said early 2025.
This year's a little stacked.
Right. It's
Well,
like, I don't think
Dan,
you
if
have
you
your
want-
first
if you-
one this year.
If you don't want to be this to be your first Kodaka game, you can play Master Detective Archives Raincoat that's escaping the Switch this year.
Oh yeah,
Huh.
is that escaping this year?
Yes, it is. It's October, I believe.
Fuck. Why can't it come even slightly earlier? We got to it. Once you hit October, that is terminal density. I'm fucked.
Yeah, no, there's no time.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to spend every waking moment playing RPG.
It's true. At least some of them are coming out of the Switch, but the question is, will I even? At least Mario and Luigi. I can play Mario and Luigi on the treadmill at the
There
gym.
you go. That's one.
I'm gonna be just playing it, not paying attention to my surroundings, and I'm gonna put it down, and then I'm gonna look behind me, and two people dressed as Mario and Luigi are gonna be like, "Du-du-du-du-du-du-du-du-du." I was really excited to see that dance edit come back, where they edited the dude dancing video into the spots for Mario and Luigi in the original gameplay footage. It was real good. I don't know what that meme's called at all. If anyone else does, let me know. Speaking of October, Romancing Saga 2 remake. And holy shit.
That's crazy.
It looked unreal.
Yeah, this isn't how a Saga game looks when you remake it. What are you talking about?
Hell, it's not even what a Saga game looks like when you make it.
Right?
We had two Saga games in a single year that are like way better fidelity than you could ever reasonably expect a Saga game to look.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited. This is October.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited too because they actually appear to be like including quality of life elements to onboard you with their weird cryptic mechanics at all. Like earlier games, you didn't fucking know how you got new moves. Sometimes when you use a move, these other moves might come from it. But in this one, they're like, we put a light bulb next to it. If there's a move, you can unlock from it.
Oh, damn. Oh,
I'm
damn.
like, wow.
That's awfully medicated for you, Saga fan. General Saga fan, you seem more medicated than expected. I'm really fucking excited. That is awesome. And just a small thing to end it out. Metroid Prime 4 is real. What?
Yeah, that's really. I was so certain we wouldn't see this until the fucking Switch 2 reveal.
Yeah.
Right?
But I guess they're like, we have to show it early so you can be confident it is Switch releasing on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
That way they avoid even a 3-hour fuck these motherfuckers for it being Switch 2 exclusive.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah, I one, this looked really good. Two, the scope of all the scenes they showed were very much vertical slice hype intro moments. Mm-hmm. So you don't get a good sense for, like, what do the bigger environments look on the Switch 1 here? Like, what are we capable of? I really do think this game is just getting prepped for its Switch 2 version.
Oh, yeah. There's almost no way we don't see another version, but...
Where they're like, this version's good and it looks fine, but does this not look fucking unreal in comparison? Yes, it does.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Oh, yeah. No, Metroid Prime rules. This means we can finally put Metroid Prime month on the fucking vote.
I'm excited to skip past 2 and 3 entirely and play this.
Oh, no. See, that's why you have to vote for it. Otherwise, Bob won't play 2 and 3.
I won't.
Relatively credible leakers, like, who have been right a lot, are like, yeah, they're remastering 2 and 3, like, not as extensively as 1.
Yeah.
So I expect the next Nintendo Direct that happens in, like, October or November, whenever, be like, yeah, they're here right now. Go.
Buy them, idiot.
I actually bought Metroid Prime Remastered a couple weeks ago. When there is time, I will play that game.
That was supposed to be on my Game of the Year top 10, and it slid out because of all the games last year.
Yeah,
and I was like, you guys don't understand, though. They made it dual stick controlling, and it's good, and the game's amazing. God damn it, you guys. Why is it in this even? It's like, my runners up last year was a joke, and this year...
It's gonna be like, here are all the children I had to kill.
I'm hoping Slitterhead can break the RPG block.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe that seems like that'll be the neatest 7 ever made.
Much like I am VR strongest warrior, I am also third birthday gameplay's strongest warrior. It is upsetting. I don't think I ever heard any human go, yo, that game plays like third birthday. I think I'm the only person on Earth who will point that out, because everyone else is like, that's the bad Parasite Eve. I won't play it.
Right. Like, it's not, they don't know what it is. They just know it's bad.
They don't know about Manfred Cannabitch. Slitterhead not going to fire on the same level as Manfred Cannabitch.
No.
You don't know that.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope it just has randomly generated names for people that are terrible. Anyway,
I hope one day to learn why it's called third birthday.
As it turns out, that wasn't really.
No, it's not really important.
Yeah, that was actually really overhyped as a part of that game.
This is the kind of thing everyone says to me every time I ask them why it's called third birthday. One day I'll know.
You know what? Sure. You should aggro stream third birthday.
Don't just play it. You need to stream it.
Why isn't that on the PS5 PSP back compat?
I don't know.
What the fuck is up with that?
They tried once, and then Square Enix copyright struck them for having it on there.
They uploaded it to Sony's servers and then copyright striked them. They C and D'd them.
Yes.
Anyways, that was it for the Nintendo Direct.
I really liked people coming here. I was like, how is Nintendo dog walking the industry while they have a 7-year-old Android
tablet? 7-year-old Android tablet. And the funniest part, it's older than that.
Yeah, right?
Yep.
The Tegra chip is older than the Switch. Nintendo's gonna wipe the fucking floor with these assholes when they have something more powerful than a PS4.
Yeah, that's going to be unreal.
Yeah, it is.
As long as they keep the price even somewhat manageable, it's over. It's so over.
It's so over at that point. Also, I imagine they're I don't know how it will go. I'm very excited to find out. But I imagine you don't make something quite as clumsy as the dock this time around. I bet you make something that much more easily lets the Switch land in it and hook up via USB Type-C.
Mm-hmm.
Switch 2, very exciting time. Prime 4, very exciting game. This year, a very exciting year for games, especially if you love RPGs. And if you like shooters, you're on fucking Suicide Watch.
I hope you like only Call of Duty.
Or you tricked yourself into getting really into X Defiant.
Or maybe.
I mean, there's some indies out there.
Yeah, there's still tons of great. There's like 45 different boomer shooters come out every week.
Those
now.
aren't.
No.
That's not what everybody wants.
Boomer shooter appreciators are a different group from people who only like shooters. These are very different crowds.
Right.
Also, you were going to say Concord, weren't you?
Yeah, of course. I was going to say Concord. That might be your biggest game of the year.
Okay, I need to see how X Defiant is doing on Twitch right now.
I'm sure it's doing great.
God, I looked up Exoprimal the other day. 4 viewers.
You looked that up because there was that anime or whatever.
Yes, there was an anime where someone was literally live streaming Exoprimal. I was like, I wonder if that's actually something people do. No.
Provably fake universe. Bad world building.
Let's see. It is 4,500 right now.
Okay.
2 weeks ago, it was at 10,000 ish.
This is X Defiant for anyone who lost the thread.
Right. This is not Exoprimal.
This is X Defiant. Let me look at it over time.
It's fine. They got this.
No, I don't think they do.
Did you say 4,500?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it launched, it was at 200,000.
Yeah.
It's fine.
That doesn't sound fine, but it might
and
be.
Then 3 weeks ago, it was at 50,000. And now it is at 4,500.
So,
they sure dumped that with no marketing or fanfare, and then it's over.
That was it for the Nintendo Direct. I thought it was great. Everyone gave it an A. Chat voted it up to an S because that was an option on the poll made by Armad. That was a great Direct.
Yeah. No, that just nonstop really cool things.
So would you say the limited run games one was an A or an S?
No.
Oh, okay. That's it for this episode of Big Thing to Mention. Let's Chris, what do you got going on?
I don't know. I keep having to do work I didn't plan for at all.
Oh.
So it keeps eating up shit time I would be doing other shit.
Yeah. Bob, what are we doing?
I believe we're playing Fracture. Unless something else came up.
Does anyone know what Fracture is?
I do. It's a 7th gen shooter where you control the ground in some capacity.
And obviously I need to show them the image because the box art is so cool.
They're not going to
Bob?
believe it's real again. They're going to be like, you made this one up too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that conversation with Spiff again, where he's like upset that he thinks I'm making up shooters. This is real. This happened. Aggro, have you ever seen this game around, Fracture?
I'm looking up some screenshots to see if I actually remember this one.
How many video games do you think have ever shipped where the framing mechanism for the shot is a man's ass?
Right?
Like they accidentally just went, yeah, so the focus is a dude looking at his cock and we frame the shot with his ass.
I feel like that is a lot of 7th gen covers, actually.
I
Where
don't.
it's like the framing is between their legs. Maybe they usually cut off the butt.
Yeah, I can't think of too many that do the between the legs thing.
Spiff says, oh, hell yeah, playing the 7th gen classic game, Amputation, today. No, it'd be Amputee, because that sounds edgier.
Right.
And then there would be a dude on the cover missing one arm, and he'd just be like, ah, and it would be wicked. And then for some reason, there's the Hayes Pissman in the background, and he's holding a vial and smiling, like he does.
I think I I think I played this.
Really?
I don't think I bought it. Did this have a demo?
I think this had a demo because I remember playing the first mission too.
Yeah, because I remember this was one of those, hey, you can deform the terrain games.
Oh, hey, there we go. Amputate. It's the number 8.
Oh my god.
That's pretty good. Anyways. Yeah, we're literally... What do you mean Amputee is already a game on the Vita? No, it isn't. This can't be. No, okay. That person's lying.
Okay. I was like,
Mods, you know what to do. There's no way, right? Okay, yeah. No, that's not real. Anyway, that's it. We're playing Fracture tomorrow. We need to know. We've played a lot of these games, and we need to just feel out where this exact segment of 7th gen shooters.
I feel like this
ends
one's
up.
really late.
No, this is 2008.
Really?
2008, 2009.
Man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because it was when I still worked at Target. So yeah.
2008.
That's insane.
Uh-huh.
Because it felt like they were hitting the bottom of the barrel on ideas. That was the entire point of the game.
Our Gears clone is different. Okay, how is it different? Your character can hold items with their ass and carry them between NPCs. It sounds more like hazing than... What?
Because, yeah, you can make tiny hills and also make tiny holes.
I still don't know how this coalesces into a game. I've known that was its gimmick for fucking 15 years, and I'm still like, how do you make a compelling shooter out of being able to raise and lower the ground? That's
Wet
just
tricks.
Populous. Right, it's Populous Red Tricks.
It's wet tricks of the shooter. I have no idea, man.
Anyway,
Yeah, I don't remember how that comes into play, really.
I'm really fucking thrilled for tomorrow because I've never, ever seen this game actually played. I've never seen that. So, please look forward to that. And thank you for listening to this episode of Big Think Dimension, the podcast where the outro button is missing, so it can't end.
So there.
So how about that? You didn't think of that, did you? Oh, wait, it's right here. Thank you.